Hi, Courtney.
You know what's gonna happen?
I'd like to call a meeting order, please rise. Mr. Rock, would you like to give opening prayer, please?
Sure. Dear Lord, we want to start first and foremost tonight, seeing that Sunday is Resurrection Sunday, by thanking you for your Son, Jesus Christ, your only begotten Son, given to us so willingly, so freely, that we may live. Lord, we're so undeserving, and we thank you daily for your mercy, which you tell us in your word endures forever. We pray your blessing over everyone in this room tonight, a special blessing over these three commissioners. Give them guidance, fill them with your wisdom, and let the decisions that are made tonight be pleasing unto you. Bless everyone in Owen County. We pray these things in the name of the one and only living Savior, Jesus Christ.
Amen. Amen. Do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sheila, where's mine? There it is. Sorry. Roll call, Commissioner Rusk. Here. Commissioner Warner. Here. Sam, here. The approval of minutes and claims. Gentlemen, I'll have to abstain from the minutes, as I was not here at the last meeting. You just have the minutes in front of you. Have any questions about the minutes, please say so. If not, it'll have to go to your two hands.
Move to approve the minutes as printed.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
2-0. With one abstention, I'm sorry, Sheila. Allow financial report, Sheila. Oh, I apologize. Before I go any further, I want to ask out there, anybody here in this room or outside perfect, raise your hand. Thank you, it's going to make this meeting a whole lot easier. I don't do anything right. I mean, I do some things right. I'm a happy guy though, so please excuse me. I forget to dot my I's at times, cross my T's. I'm not good in English. I usually say what's on my mind, and sometimes that gets me in trouble, but if you got any questions, please raise your hand. Payroll is $332,319.65. Regular claims, $111,064.99. Out-of-cycle claims, $231,779.22. Total payroll and claims, $675,163.86.
Move to approve.
Second.
I would like to do caveat though, the reason the out-of-cycle claims are higher obviously is because the J&K radio project is in this one, and so is the band that we purchased for the veteran appearance. So that's why the number is higher than normal. With that being said.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
3-0. We're going to jump into some old business. You just have this in front of you. Please don't go by it. So, before we go to Mr. Keith, would you please come on up? Before we go to the jail project review, I'd like for Commissioner Risk and Commissioner Warner to address the public. This is not about receiving any type of a gold star or anything. Roger, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Would you well, why don't you just do it? Speak shortly about the van, how it's going to help you, and so on and so forth, and we'll move on.
Yeah, the van, it's a Ford, one of the passenger vans is tall, enough so somebody can walk back and, take care of the person maybe in a wheelchair. It does have the wheelchair ramp. It's totally adjustable for seating inside, and, it's definitely going to be an improvement, and it's going to be a lot safer than the current vehicle we're using. But it does have to make trips to Indianapolis, which is, that's hard on it, and the patients need to be comfortable, but, hey, it's a nice vehicle, and I think it will serve us well.
Praise God. Good deal.
Both the veterans and the honor guard.
Right.
Go ahead. Yes. You want to speak anything about that? No. I know the veterans and on the guard, took some pictures, got to see the band. It's well fit. I want to thank these two commissioners, for getting on board as well and getting this van for them. We can't not do enough for our veterans. We may lose out on something else, but we're going to try to do our best to take care of the veterans. Mr. Keith, thank you for being here tonight. I want to, I have to ask you a couple of questions, sir, because I want to make sure that the public understands something. So, and folks, I just don't know how to talk about this plain. Lord, hold me to my words. Mr. Keith, did me and you ever meet privately for any reason? Was there any money exchanged between me and you, any promises made between me and you, any collusion between me and you or Keith Realty in the purchase of this property?
No, there wasn't at any time.
I personally have been accused of collusion with Mr. Keith. Been accused of having unauthorized meetings with Mr. Keith. Me and Mr. Keith met on a couple of occasions, talked about a few things. It was just me and Mr. Keith. This property that the commissioners are looking at to purchase is west of Walmart, that vacant lot there. It's got a cornfield. The public probably knows that at first we was going to trade a land swap of 96 acres down on 43 South with 10 acres that Mr. Franklin owns at the quarry. It looked like that was going to be a good deal, and at the time that it was. We had some jail committee meetings, which involved several people, and I happened to be one of them. I was asked by this board to be on that committee. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And there was a couple times I brought up, I said, you know, I'd like to look at that piece of property that Mr. Keith is going to talk about tonight briefly. And it kept getting brought back to me that no way, you can't, you know, that's not going to be sold, you can't buy it, yada, yada. And I didn't know, I have no idea, I'm not a real estate guy. I reached out to Tilden Keith. He knew the property owners. I have not spoken to the property owners. I've had nothing to do with this. I turned it over to Mr. Keith. Mr. Keith met with the property owners. I'm suing different occasions, talking about this and that.
Absolutely.
And the property owners was willing to sell the property to the Board of Commissioners. Is that how it went, sir?
Yes, it is.
There is no collusion. There is no conspiracy theory. And I hope the people that need to know this are listening. We're not underhanded. We're not trying to deceive anybody. You got 3 commissioners sitting up here that do not have all the answers for everything going on in this county. We're working due diligence to try to get the answers to the best of our ability. Are we going to make mistakes? We are. Because we're human. We pray for guidance from our Lord our God, and we're doing the very best we can. Mr. Keith delivered a package at the last meeting. Is that correct, Mr. Keith?
It sure is.
You two received that package, did you or did you not?
Yes.
And I got a package, I read through it. Mr. Attorney, you read through the contract, did you or did you not?
I did.
And the attorney stated to me that there was one thing in the contract, which I agree with, and I talked to Mr. Keith about this, called him yesterday or the day before, that once we sign this contract, It's 17 acres, plus or minus a little bit. That, once we sign the contract, we had 30 days to get our environmental study done, geothermal done, and so on and so forth. I spoke to the county attorney, and he said we need to get an extension on that for at least 90 days. I reached out to the developers and engineers and all the powers to be, the architects, called them. They said 90 days would be absolutely wonderful. I called Mr. Keith. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, so don't quote me on it. And Mr. Keith said that would be a no issue. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, it is, that's no
And
problem.
that was the topic of our conversation. I didn't go any further. I didn't beg or plead with you. I simply asked if that could be done, and you told me no problem. So Mr. Keith, I believe, has brought a new contract tonight that states not 30 days, but 90 days. Is that correct, sir?
Exactly, it's 90 days.
Do you have that contract in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Would you please hand the contract to the county attorney? While the county attorney is going through this contract for the public, I want you to understand, this is our 14th year in trying to get a jail built. The sheriff, I'm not sure if the sheriff's here tonight, but he'll testify to the fact that basically all we're doing, I've said this over and over, I don't know if it's the right word to say, but I'm going to say it again, all we're doing is polishing a turd. We're spending thousands and thousands of dollars of taxpayers' money on a jail that we can't do nothing about. Now, at the last council meeting, I believe it's the last council, they voted 5-1, one abstention for the commissioners to proceed with purchase of this property. Is that correct, commissioners? Yeah, okay. That's exactly what we're going to do. And the reason of it is we gained 7 acres. There's the picture of the jail on the wall. It's been hanging there for months. We're going to do our very best to get that facility built. Now, we've got to go through the financials, of course, with the council, with the jail committee, and stuff, which we're having a meeting next week, Thursday, at 9 o'clock, with jail committee to discuss finances. I've been doing this for a long, long time, and I am nobody. I am nobody. My tax dollars and your tax dollars are going down the drain at that jail that we're sitting in right now. Down the drain. You're paying 2 taxes right now, correctional facility tax, which you've been paying for, this is our 5th year. We've saved some good money, we got about $4.5 million in the coffers from that. But you're also paying a public safety tax to fund a jail project. We haven't turned a stone. We're getting ready to turn a stone. We gained some property. We have the avenues maybe to move some of our other county entities out there to the 17 acres. But our overall goal right now is to buy this piece of property, get the contract signed, Mr. Keith take care of business with the sellers, the engineers, the architects, and all that stuff, the geothermal, all that's going to get started. Once he says that the contract is good to go. I talked to them all yesterday, had them all on a conference call, so we're going to move forward. This jail project is very expensive. We could have built the jail in 2021 for $21 million. You're not going to build a jail now for $21 million. But it's a need. It's not a want, it's a necessity. We have to protect the officers that work there, plus we've got to protect the inmates. So with that being said, once again, there has been no underhanded stuff between me and Mr. Keith that I've been accused of, and I will address this after the election. They rest assured, public, I've got your best interest in mind, so does these two, the auditor and the rest of the people in the council. We're trying to do the best we can with the limited resources that we got. Have you read the contract? I have. Is the contract agreeable?
Yeah,
So go from 30 days to 90 days?
Yep,
and
it
we're all
does.
good.
yep.
Gentlemen, we've got the new contract down here, there's only one copy of it. I make a motion that we accept the contract and its terms. It's the same as in here that you had before. It's set 30 days to 90 days. Is that right, Mr. Keith? That's the only change there was?
Yes, it
And
is.
it's the only change we talked about. Is that
That's
correct, sir?
exactly right.
I make a motion that we accept the contract as written with the change. When we sign the contract, it's not just 30 days, we have 90 days to get the survey, environmental study done, the geotech stuff, and all that 9 yards. That's my motion.
Two things before we,
Yes, sir.
this copy, and I wrote on here 30-day null and void. I'm gonna pass that down to the auditor to be destroyed. I'd like you to do the same with the one that's null and void.
No, I'm checking my phone.
Huh?
Am I?
It's
It's
on.
on.
No, okay.
So I'd like to note that those two are going to the, or all three are going to be destroyed because they are no longer void, or they're null and void. And then, one of the things that I heard was that you guys never got a copy of that one, and I'm not sure how that happened. But anyway, make sure you get a copy of this one when we get our copies to see.
You're going to sign the tabs that Tony just marked, and
Okay.
then Tilden's going to take it, and because he has to meet with property owners, and then he's gonna bring back
Yeah,
the signed copy.
That's true, and we
Once
just
that's all
got the
done.
one, that's the legal copy.
Okay.
And then once you guys sign that, I'll have to meet with the property owners. I've got it dated before Saturday, by 5 o'clock, I have to meet with them, get their signatures. I will get that original back into Sheila, so she can make copies and everything and
Okay.
disperse
Well,
appropriately.
the biggest thing is so that we can get the notification out and all that good stuff. So-
Exactly.
But I want to make sure there's not multiple copies floating around here.
I turned mine in, all we got's the new one here. so.
All righty. With that, I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
3-0. We'll take a moment here, we need to sign this, get this back to Mr. Keith. Mr. Keith, you can go.
Okay, one question that, or want to add to that, Sam, I'm not real familiar with the collusion that you was talking about. I'm not too much of a political man myself as far as that goes. I just know that originally our contact was you would just come to me and see if there was any way they might be interested in selling some property. And that's what we do is real estate. And, you know, and I approached them to see if by chance they would be able to sell, and that's how it got started. There wasn't anything else, you know, anywhere. I don't quite understand the collusion or anything like that. So, no, it was just a straight up offer, and we love to sell real estate.
Well, I don't really want to go here because I don't. Here's the unfortunate part. I came to you and you did the checking. I didn't talk to the people.
That's exactly right.
When certain people don't get the affirmation that they are all that in a bag of chips, or they're not the one to come up with the idea, it upsets the apple cart. Then they think that we're doing something wrong. It's a small, very small group, small, but it's unfortunate that those people would think so low of us, or maybe even of you, sir, that something like this would occur. I simply asked you to check into something, and you did, and you come back with this, and we got a good response.
Exactly.
So to the people that think the ill will of us because it wasn't their idea, or they just simply think, no way, that's ever going to transform. My dad always told me, if something bothers you, son, you got two choices. Either get over it or die with it. I don't want nobody dying with it, but I hope they can get over it. I better hush, because I'm about to. And I thank you, Mr. Keith, for your due diligence to, I'm gonna pull my tab off, guys, somewhere and get the date on there. There's the first one. You can have them have a paper clip. Bear with me, Bill. God loves you.
There should be 3 signatures, guys, on each one.
Yes. Here's your other one. Pass them back when you get this one.
Those two.
Mr. Keith, if they're out of order, it's Dave's fault.
Okay. Okay, Dave.
I'll take the heat, bud.
I want to thank you, commissioners, very much. If you have any questions, don't ever hesitate yelling at me.
Thank you for all your help on this, and I appreciate everything you've done. Have a blessed week, sir. Okay, next on the list, we're going to Mr. Officer Bill Brown. Well, I don't know what all his title is. This is about the drug alcohol resource team, the DART team. I know a lot of the members of the DART team are here, about all of them are here today, so. We're gonna let Mr. Brown and any of the DART members that need to say anything, please feel free. And you can,
These are some documents for you, sir.
thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. 2 of them I've sent to you, gentlemen,
Yes,
and then one of them's the talking points. And I have 2 others. Is that for you too?
yes.
How do I turn this on, sir?
Press that one.
There you go.
There you
I
go.
got it. You ready for me to begin, sir?
Anytime you feel comfortable.
Yes, sir. I'm comfortable right now. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for letting me come here and speak to you this evening. I represent DART. I sit on the DART Drug Alcohol Resource Team here for Owen County as the law enforcement portion of that. And so we've put a proposal together. We've been doing a lot of homework here on this opportunity. So I'd like to start you off with a little story, if I might. I was a child of an alcoholic mother. And so my mother's 82 years old, and she's still an alcoholic today. And I'm sure that you create a vision in your head about what that might have been like. However, my mother's last drink was age 35. And my mother went and got help. And I'm thankful that she went and got help, because the time that I spent under her tutelage as her child as an active alcoholic was not good. But she went on from there and went to IUPUI, and she got her master's degree, and she graduated valedictorian of her college. I got to watch as my mother walked across there. Her hopes and dreams were shot for a while because of her alcoholism, her addiction. But I actually watched her walk across there, become valedictorian of her college, and then go on and be prosperous, and worked in the drug and alcohol field, and she helped many people along the way with help. We have nothing for women here in Owen County to assist them. Once upon a time we did, and it was actually called Dottie's Refuge. And Dottie's Refuge has 2 graduates in here right now that are sitting behind me that have put their lives back together because of it.
Praise God.
However, Dottie's Refuge is no longer in function. The reason is because it had no stability. It had nothing behind it. It had volunteers. Volunteerism will work for a while, but volunteerism will fall. It needs some backing and some support. So in the talking points document, on these 3 documents that I have, one is my talking points that I'll be going over today. The other one is, this is our proposal that we're making that I've sent to you each on email. And the other one is a business plan that we have put together for you to look over. So let me go over my talking points, if you will, and hopefully I'll do them brief enough that if you have any questions, the people that are in the room that you may want to ask questions to are available. So let me introduce myself. My name is Bill Brown. I'm an Owen County Deputy Sheriff. I've been a Deputy Sheriff for about 5 years working here. I'm actually paid for through, my job is paid for through the opioid settlement monies that this county gets. My job is to work with, I teach the DARE program. I'm trying to overcome some of the drug addiction issues that we face here in Owen County. That's my work. Well, on top of that, I also become a member of the DART Drug Alcohol Resource Team, and have found it very valuable to be on that. That group has many people that sit on there from the mental health field and beyond, law enforcement, people from the community and court services, et cetera, are on there, and some people that are business owners, that are people that have made it through their recovery or are in their recovery process. So I'll list a few of them that are on the subcommittee. Kat Dennison, if she would raise her hand so you can see her. Beck Scott, the president of DART. Ashley Collins, which is Centerstone Mental Health. Jaron Rogers, which is the pastor of First Church of Nazarene. He could not be here with us this evening. Lindsay Sarnecki, which is currently the coordinator of Stability First Women's Recovery in Martinsville, and she is a graduate of the Dottie's Refuge. Robin Wannell, which couldn't be here, she's the executive director of Stability First, and which we would like to model after as we build this program here. Julie Marcinkus from Rescue Recovery, and several others representing DART in the recovery groups are in the audience. So here's the reason why, and bear with me for a moment as I dig this out. Gentlemen, this is 141 women who have been arrested and put in our jail system in Owen County. There's a list of them. Many of them are repeating, and this has happened in the last 5 years. This is all, these women that are arrested, every one of them listed here, was for drug-related offenses. That doesn't account the people that were arrested that were also addicted for other charges, because as we know, addiction leads to other arrests. These 141 women, they were released from our jail and they had nowhere else to go other than right back to their mess. We didn't have anything available to them to go to help them get better. We need a safe and stable housing environment within our own community where they can find support, reconnect with family, learn to stay sober, and rebuild their lives like my mother was able to. That is priceless, gentlemen, priceless. Our county needs this facility, and the following is our proposal. We found a building, which is one of the hard things. That building, and Pastor Steve Van Bokeren, if he's here, if he raised his hand, he owns this building, the Lifeway Baptist Church owns it. And I've spoke with him and spoke with all of his people over there, and he said yes to this, and so did his group. They said yes, and the facility is just about 1.5 miles out of town. It's 886 Maranatha Baptist Road here in Spencer. It's a 2,520 square foot one-story building, and we haven't put the paperwork together because we have $0 at this point in time. We're just doing the work. But they have said, yes, they would like for this to be used. Currently, a family lives inside that home, taking care in that building, taking care of the building, so it is ready to be moved into, and they are ready to have it available for us in August, as we know. So he's agreed that, you know what, we may be able to work out a lease agreement. He's here for you to ask questions. Work out a lease agreement where we don't have to pay him anything, pay them anything, but he would agree that we take over all financial cost of that. If it needs a roof, we need it. If it needs a hot water heater, we take care of it. If we want to add in furniture, we do that, and it's all on us. We haven't got that paperwork drawn up, but we're working on it. The opioid settlement money that we're asking for is $150,000. 3 paid positions, a director, $50,000 a year, and I've explained the duties in our business plan, who will eventually hire a coordinator, who will eventually hire a house mom. The coordinator is at $35,000 a year, and the house mom has an annual salary of $25,000 a year. We need to furnish it, we need to provide food, utilities, and insurance. So there's another $40,000 set for a budget for that. If you add that up, we come to $150,000 as our request. We've spoken with Dueling Insurance, who are confident that they can locate and insure this facility, but are waiting for absolute information before they come up with an actual amount that we owe. But the estimate is $45,000, and that's what, or $4,500 that they've asked for us to budget for. I've spoke with Owen County Community Foundation, Janet Rummel, who's agreed to be the temporary fiduciary and manage the finances as needed and directed by DART. DART will be the oversight. Owen County Community Foundation has agreed to place DART, the DART chosen director, who we would like to hire as soon as we get funding for this, and put them on their payroll and assist them in acquiring the 501c3 that's needed for this facility. This allows DART to immediately hire a director and begin building policies, procedures, acquiring lease agreements, design and acquire furnishings, build partnerships, advertise, etc., in preparation for a fully functional facility in August of 2026. DART, the oversight of the facility will be DART, and we will actually be the ones that will be the board for the director and be the deciding entity of who's hired for the director's position. All decisions made by the director will be approved by that board. We're asking for a 2-year commitment for this allocation of these funds for this purpose and to be re-examined at that time if it needs to be continued to be funded. I am hoping that there will be people that will come out of the woodwork and begin to help and assist. We're also trying to get the opportunity to reach this level that this can be insured. We can send this out for billing to insurance. If we can get that, if the director can get that accomplished with the oversight of DART, it will become self-sufficient. So I'll close this. In the past 4 years, there have been 141 women lodged in our Owen County Jail for drug-related offenses. When their sentences were completed or during their sentences, they had no place to go other than to turn back to the place they came from. Most of them want to change, they want to get better, they want to learn how to escape the cycle of addiction, and this facility will give them hope for a new beginning. With this facility, Owen County will restore families, reunite parents and children, provide hope to the women who need our help, and provide a way for women to reach their potential and become contributing members of our society. There is no price tag on that to many people that are going through it, and this effort will be a miracle to their families. In our audience are women with shining examples of testimony, if you want to hear them, and profound impact of this step has been in restoring their lives. DART thanks you for the time and consideration of this request. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. Thanks. Well, that's a lot.
I got a couple of questions, just off the top of my head.
Go ahead.
So you said a 2-year commitment, and then you're going to try to fund it yourself, right?
So if I can pass this off to Ms. Lindsay Sarnecki, she currently works as the coordinator for Stability First. She sits right behind me. Are you okay with her answering your
I
question?
am, but here's why I'm asking the question. The
Opioid?
that fund, that's grant money, correct? Okay, so you see what my concern is? Grant money, and then you're going to privately fund yourself. I want to make sure there's a clear separation between the two, because we get in hot water on the back end with grant money because it's very specific what it can be used for. Now, I'm assuming this is
Everything he said qualifies.
Yes.
Okay.
There's restricted
All right.
and unrestricted funds.
So, Tony, I guess this is a question for you. Let's say we go down this road 2 years from now, they try to go private with it. Is there any kind of separation issue that you could see? I just don't want to,
I don't think so, and
Okay.
I don't think you're committed to appropriating money for the future. You know, that's a year-by-year decision.
okay. But if they didn't, if they decided to pull out and go on their own, that there's no residual effect on the grant itself. Okay.
We're given a dollar amount, they can't spend more than that dollar
Yeah.
amount,
All right.
whether it's
Yeah.
committed now or when we have 3 batches pending that are supposed to come in. I did the annual report on Tuesday for one of them, and there's a whole new list of stuff that is out there that the counties can be applying for. So we need to get people on that and brought forward that list to you. But it's whatever is committed, whatever you have now, go to the council, see if there's other sources of funding.
The big thing for me is I don't want to eliminate us from the contention for that grant
It does.
when that separation date gets here.
Yeah,
It doesn't affect
The
it.
only thing
Yeah, I
we're
don't think that's-
restricting
Okay.
is to make sure that the DARE program is funded each year. That's the main commitment that has been out of the restricted funds. The unrestricted is again,
Okay.
can do what you want to do with it.
Good enough, just had to ask. I'm more happy to have her answer it if,
So she works with Stability First, and they are currently working to get this status there. I will tell you that I don't understand it as deeply as she understands it, so she would be the right one to answer. Lindsay, would you join me up here?
Yes, I mean, like.
you don't mind to come up here so so the people at home could hear you.
You want to share my seat
I'll
with
sit
me?
next to you, if that's okay. It's just a process, and so the reason why it would take up to 2 years is because that's how, I mean, and that's a kind of a quick, because it takes a while to unroll the whole for grants and funding, or, once that's over, you can't keep drawing from the same, like, you can't do grants necessarily and be funded by Medicaid, if that makes sense. And
Right.
Some grants, but, so it'll just be a process of a,
So-
a transition.
And I,
You would
right.
apply it toward, if, there, like you said, some of it you can't do, but if you use the funds for things that are like a one-time expense and those things, then it wouldn't cross over to keep you from getting.
Right. Because you see where I'm concerned at. If you guys then decide you're going to send out something to Medicaid, we're grant funding on the back. I just want to make sure there's,
Yeah, there's,
okay. Because grants, deal with them all the time. They're tricky and.
Ashley Collins from Centerstone may have something to add on that too, Ashley.
There's a lot of other counties that have,
Yes, just come up front. People can't hear you on the YouTube feed.
there's a lot of other counties that have used the opioid funds for recovery housing like this. And what I will say is I think there's a lot of times people come asking for opioid settlement dollars and don't have a sustainability plan where they would have to keep coming back. This is built so that there is a sustainability. It's just a matter of like becoming certified to be able to go through all these like hoops with the state to be able to then start drawing down funds for that. And it's gonna become its own 501c3. So, and then I think a lot of us that are on this like initial planning committee want to be board members to like make sure that we have like, we keep going forward with the way that we've kind of set it out to start with.
And could we not also, Sheila, add this to our budget when it comes to budget hearing times?
Yes.
I
Whether
mean,
you put it in your budget, again, you need to go to council. I see Polly out there still. There's other avenues for funds besides the opioid. I'm not saying we have an abundance of money, but if you're only talking $150,000 to begin with, I see that being very doable. It's just you might only get half of it now. It might have to be the 2027 budget that comes around, depending on additional appropriations and progress.
well, I think one of the issues that they have at hand is they need money for 2026. Certain, just for the salary expenses, like $60,000. But this is something that we could budget for in our budget time for 2027 and have that secured. Is that correct, Sheila? Okay.
So gentlemen, I'm listening to you. The need is now, right? So
Yes.
what we are hoping and praying on for our community is that we hire a director as quickly as we can. That director putting policies together before this building is available, we have to have it all in place, all their requests, all their needs, and all of those things prior to. And that is broken down in a monthly or a bi-weekly payment, to match that salary. It's not gonna equal $50,000 because we're already in April. So you see, that's where we would like to begin. So the appropriations for 2026 are going to be different because of their starting ideas. The 150 would be building a Cadillac. If we're building a Cadillac for 2027, then hopefully 150 hits us there. 150 is going to be a great starting place beyond our imagination for 2026. It will be less than that because of where everybody starts in the request and their needs for a salary.
Okay, so,
What do we currently have?
and believe me, I understand, there's a couple of, and I wanna say that, but I get emotional, I guess that's what happens when you get old, you cry a lot. I'm a former alcoholic and drug user, I spent 24 years in about every detox program, rehabilitation thing that there was, but it wasn't for the saving grace of Jesus Christ and prayers of family and friends, and I never would be here today. I've been on both sides of the fence. The price tag, there's no price tag on put on somebody's life when you give them the opportunity to recover, to become what God wants them to be anyway. A healthy person to start with. Believe me, I've been there, lost everything I ever had, lost it all, simply for my addiction. Personally, I'm all about this in 100,000 different ways, but you say you have a couple of people here that has been in Dottie's Refuge. When I was a sheriff, Dottie was incarcerated under my term. Me and Dottie became extremely close, communication and talking about things, and her addiction, my addiction. Anyway, long story short, I thought the world of this lady. Struggled many years, and we prayed together and hoped that when she got out that she'd be able to go someplace to recover. Dottie didn't get to go that place. Dottie died. I'll never forget that. So it's imperative that this county, starting with this Board of Commissioners, as well as our attentions to help the veterans, which is priceless. It starts right here at this Board of Commissioners to help the public, the people that have mental health issues and addictions. If we don't step up and say, hey, this is what we're going to do, to get the ball rolling, so to speak, who's going to step up to the plate? And do you have somebody here that was in the program that's recovering?
You have two. Ms. Marcinkus is also a graduate from.
Short story. Give me just a
No,
glimpse.
I can go.
You go. Short story.
I took notes because I get so passionate about this. I've been trying to reopen Dottie's for a long time now, and the timing just was not right. So I was on the board after I graduated, and actually I'm coming up on my 13 years of sobriety, or since I entered Dottie's in my sobriety, April 15th. So, but on Christmas Day of 2012, I was arrested and served 72 days in Owen County Jail. At that time, a lady named Naomi Snyder, which is who runs Dottie's Refuge, who also knew Dottie, was having Bible studies in the jail, and that's when I heard about Dottie's Refuge. When I heard the program was 6 months long, that I had some reservations, but now looking back, I know that it takes 6 months plus to get clean and just to get out of that, get your brain off, like calm down, and where it's able to even think outside of that addiction and way of living. Let's see, I'm sorry. Part of reading off this is I have to catch up, and I apologize. To go to Dottie's was, I was discussing it with my mom and considering it with my family, and my dad ended up bonding me out of jail after 72 days and taking me directly to the drug dealer's house, and I relapsed within an hour of being released to my dad. And that's when I ended up in the deepest pits, and I ended up reaching out to Naomi, and she let me come back, thank God. But if it weren't for that program, I would be, God knows where I'd be. We need that support and surrounding, because we're too weak on our own, and when we go back into the world that we were in, it just pulls at you so hard that you can't stand up against it. But if it hadn't been for the Lord's guidance and the support of Dottie's Refuge and the structure and the clean environment, I would be dead now, most likely. Many people struggling with addictions don't have the same environment to return to, which is what I was just saying. We need a safe, stable, and healthy environment that supports healing. Healthy people with lived experience to come alongside us. And that's what Dottie's provided and wants to provide again.
Praise
Like I said, without that program, my kids wouldn't have a mom, and it was the Lord that worked in my heart in that program that changed me ultimately, and that was my recovery. But there are many directions and steps and ways to recovery. So,
Amen.
and we're open to all those.
Ma'am?
My name is Julie, and I am I'm over about 13 years. We were recovery sisters. We were in there at the same time. I came before she did, but I came from the streets. My mom wasn't sure. She wasn't sure what was going on with me, and so she got a letter through my ex-husband to me because she knew that I would show up to see my son. And he'd let me see him when I was sober. But there was a lot of times I wasn't. I was in and out of the hospital, and I coded once at Wichita Hospital. It was around Thanksgiving. That was the year. It was in 2012. So things were getting pretty bad for me. And my mom got me that letter, and she said, I'd rather pay for you to go to rehab than for a funeral. And so that's how grave it was. I showed up on her doorstep. It was December the 12th of 2012. And, I didn't think that she could, I didn't know what to do. I just knew that if I stayed out there much longer that I was going to die. And my son, he had pleaded with me and begged me to live. And so I said I would. We didn't know where to go. It was Lifeway Church my mom went to. She found out about Dottie's Refuge through Lifeway, and we went out there and talked to them. I started the program. It was rough in the beginning, but over time, it takes a time for someone to detox and to get their brain back on board. There's a lot of neurobiological and chemical things that are going on in that brain when they first enter in. Naomi had mercy on me through that period because I had some issues, ended up having to go to the hospital, but she allowed me to come back. I successfully completed the program. It was July of 2013. Now since then, I have had lots of opportunities as in my nursing career because I'm a registered nurse, I have advanced in my career. I wouldn't have been able to do that. I've restored the relationship with my family, with my son. I've become a productive member of society again. I work for IU Health in an administrative position now, and I'm also a co-leader for Rescue Recovery here in this county. So, I went from living on the streets, having nothing, coming to this county, going through Dottie's Refuge, and then what God has done in my life since then has blown my mind. And me and Lindsay, we have both been holding on to each other along the way. Because when we first got out, we felt like we were in a bubble. We weren't sure who we could talk to. We didn't want to go back to those old people, places, or things. That's for sure. So having a recovery community in this county, and having this place where women can go between Dottie's and then Rescue Recovery, that supports people. They get clean, they get sober, but then what next? They need support. They need people to rally around them. Terre Haute Vigo County's done wonders with what they've done to provide support for people in recovery, and they see a lot of success out there. My brother's pulled a lot of Joe Marcinkus is my brother. He went to rehab just about the same time I did. I went out New Year's Eve, he went out New Year's Day. So my mom has had to deal with 2 children in her family who struggle with addictions. But it's so essential to provide the support, the resources they need in the beginning. to be able to find that stability, that structure. And they may not like it much at first, but the thing is if they will stay with it, stick with it, and complete the programs, and then they have that support on the other side, they have the connection. That's what I'm here. That's why I'm here. I didn't expect to make it to my 33rd birthday. Okay, now I'm 46.
Praise God.
So,
Amen. You know, being in the same boat, losing everything. But Sheriff Richardson, Bud Richardson, and Chief Deputy Greg Denny give me a start to work in the jail. Now, God's divine intervention comes in some strange ways sometimes.
it
And
does.
here I am like me, I applied and they hurt. But it was through that divine intervention that I got to see the lives of people like Dottie. And to see people come through that revolving door that we have got to shut down to the best of our ability. And it changed my life forever. I mean, I'm all dead gratitude to Pudge, the sheriff, and Chief Deputy Greg Denny, because that opportunity had to come. I think I've been somewhat of a decent pillar, or not a pillar of the community, a contributor to the community the best way I can. But if I hadn't got that opportunity, if I hadn't took that opportunity,
Right.
sometimes we're given opportunities and we refuse to take them. When God opens the door, He expects us to step in. But that opportunity changed my life, and I'm forever grateful for those 2 men. So I'm so thankful for you two, for this program. And
Gentlemen, the only thing I have to offer for you, if you have any questions, Pastor Steve is back there, and also Will County Community Foundation, Janet Rummel, about the things I mentioned there. If you have any questions, they're available to you as well.
Well,
Don't know if you want to speak with them.
I know Janet's been, she's been wonderful to work with. I've worked with her the last year and a half on different projects. And Preacher, I'm sure you've seen your fair share of hard times coming and going with people, maybe in your own congregation. I'm a preacher too now, praise God. And it takes the churches to also to come together, Preacher, to help these people. And I think maybe that's a commitment we should get together with as pastors of this community, to come together and see what we can do to also help facilitate some of their needs. So I'd like to get with you someday soon and get some other preachers together, pastors, clergymen, and see what we can do to help this cause. Because rest assured, this is one commissioner, and I think I'm not going to speak for all three of them, they can speak for themselves. We're going to step up. I'm going to the plate with this. One life saved is one funeral we're going to have to attend.
Amen. Amen.
So, I may have to close the meeting.
Real quick, sir. You were saying 2 years.
Yes, sir.
You're saying that was pushing it 2 years, or?
So she said that. I didn't say that. So DART's going to have the oversight of whoever our director is, and Lindsay is certainly one that, if I have to say so, is going to be that person that I would like to see take that. You guys see her heart. Our push will be, let's get some policies in order, let's get what we need to get in order so that we can become self-sufficient.
Yes.
I don't know how quickly that's going to happen, and and I'm certain that this young lady, if she is given that director, will work her tail off with DART's oversight to push her. But that will be our goal. 2 years from now, when we go back and look at this, we may not have met that goal. Rest assured that we will work hard to get that goal met, because we do want to become self-sufficient so that this thing will long past opioid funds coming to this community. This thing is still going and growing and prospering. I'm hoping it doesn't stop here, that it grows. And Stability First has grown a great thing over there. I actually went and visited with the prosecutor over there. We actually visited Lindsay. It's a beautiful facility. They are getting funding. They are finding funding. They are finding ways to become self-sufficient. They are growing business within that. And that's the kind of thing I would love to model after. With DART's oversight, I think we're going to get that accomplished. But I'm going to look at you 2 years from now and be able to say we did it, or, sir, I'm asking for more.
Sure.
This is going to save lives. You're going to be pleased with this. We're going to be pleased. I've never arrested a single soul, gentlemen, in 40 years. with that I didn't think, man, this person could be something different than what they are for a drug-related offense. With my mother in mind, they are great, wonderful people. They're just fighting addiction. Once we start getting them a step toward getting away from that addiction, our community gets better.
Amen.
Law enforcement gets better.
Amen.
It's not a revolving door in our jail. It's a place that people start, they get better, and they have a place to go.
So Janet, I'm gonna ask you an unfair question. Can you give me a percentage of the chance that you'll be able to do something with that in 2 years?
I can't really speak on behalf of our entire board of directors, but I think that 99% chance that we would be able to continue to support this program.
It's an unfair question, I'll admit it.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the financial guru of the county. We may not get, we're gonna be here a long time. No, this is important. If we don't get nothing else accomplished tonight, this is important. Sheila, where are we at? I'm speaking for myself, okay? And the other two guys can chime in. We need $150,000.
What we currently have, easily you could commit to 75,000, or you could pull out a few line items here and there in your budget. I would request that you go to council and ask them if they too would help contribute to the program. I can't speak for them, but I'm sure that they are going to be as supportive as the commissioners are. But that would at least get you halfway. That check can be written tomorrow because you do have those current funds. We're not sure when our next rounds of opioids are going to come in. We know we've been approved, we've been part of it. There's another one pending that the attorney is getting ready to sign up for. So they'll still be coming in, but we also have to be careful to make sure we're reserving for the debt.
Janet, I'm not talking myself out of a job.
So that's, again, this is out of the unrestricted funds, so again, that gives you a lot of flexibility what you can spend it on. That's all I can offer. It's up to them to vote on it, and again, I can't speak for the council, but I'm sure that they would be willing to listen to you as well. They meet on the 13th, I can put you on the agenda if you want to.
I would say yes, please put me on there too. 13?
Yes, they're in.
My anniversary's on the 10th, so I've got to make sure.
Yes. Also, I think there are a lot of people that are probably listening tonight that would be more than happy to try and donate. So we will need a contact, we will need a place to send people to. If they ask me, I'll probably.
The sheriff's department's already created a fund, and that's by their secretary. With this in mind, a lot of support we need to happen, and they've created a donation site there. To tell you what it is, I don't know, but that's through the sheriff.
And we'll create a fund as well.
Okay. I'm gonna throw something out there. Sheila. The commissioners, I know we got some opioid money here, I see it in front of us. But the commissioners also, we have a little bit of revenue in a couple pockets. Is that correct? Is that correct?
Yes.
And that revenue that we have in a couple other pockets could be spent for this, is that correct?
I think we owe it to the people in Alton County.
We don't have to say what line item it comes out of tonight, do we? You can handle that on your own, correct? I make a motion that the commissioners pony up $150,000 tonight. And now, I want to add a caveat to, it's tough. It's hard. Janet, I know you're gonna do everything you can possibly do. Preacher, I know you'll do the same. Because me and you're gonna meet the sheriff's office if they've got some funding. Board of Commissioners will ask you two men to help put up the $150,000 tonight. You still go to the council. because you're gonna need funding for next year. Is that correct? There's gonna be incidentals. I know 150,000 is more than you need for 2026, and that's okay. You can't put a price tag on somebody's life. So I make a motion that the commissioners put up $150,000 to help the DART program.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Rio.
Amen.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I would like to get an update every so often when you guys have a meeting. You guys wouldn't mind?
We'll definitely keep you notified. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna put my whole heart, soul, and life into this, just so you guys know. Just so you know.
You'll do a good job.
Richard.
I appreciate the way you ran it. Thank you.
It's all God, buddy.
So you're gonna reach out to me?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. You're gonna hear from me. I don't know where my agenda went. I lost control and threw stuff away. Well,
Make some people happy.
makes people happy. Now, let's see if we can't just upset some. No, I don't want to upset nobody. I'm not. That's not my goal. Rural Transit, or Area 10 agency, anybody hear from them? Table that to the next meeting. I did skip over the capital improvement plan review. That is pending the consultant. Go ahead, back up, beat.
I'm pretty sure their deadline date will be before your next meeting.
The Area 10 agency. Where's that at? Here. In the pile. This pile.
It's not a financial agreement, it's just an agreement for them to be able to
Oh,
apply.
yeah, here it is. Yeah, gentleman, Rural Transit, who, once again, this won't be quite as long, near as long. Rural Transit has dedicated their services in Owen County for many, many years. They help a lot of people. I see the Rural Transit all over the place. You know, but they just need us to make it's not a contribution from us at this time. We will address that later, about a commitment, but this just needs to be, an agreement on their operating budget. Is that correct?
It allows them to apply.
Yes, this here allows the rural transit to apply for their operating program. We just have to agree to it because it's part of our commission. Have you had a chance to look at this and everything? Okay, so if you have looked at this and give me your thoughts, or if you want to move, let's move.
So we're just authorizing them to apply for the grant?
Yes,
There's no outlay of cash on us at this point?
not at this time.
I'll make that motion then that we accept or we allow them to move forward with the grant
I'll second.
application.
All in favor? 3-0. Good deal. Thank you, man. The Guardian contract, have you looked at the Guardian contract as well?
Yes.
You got any issues with the Guardian contract?
The contract that you have a copy of expires, or expired April the 1st.
Yes.
So you need to try, they want another 3-year contract, they haven't actually presented that. I just wanted to put it in there to let you know. I do know Guardian is meeting with Noah Maintenance
Yes.
tomorrow, and they're going through all the buildings and doing an inspection of everything. So if you want, we can get a hold of them and tell them the actual new contract, or because they didn't provide a contract, they just provided this one that showed that it expires in April.
Yeah. I've got to find it again because I missed
We,
it. You guys got that in front of you?
Yeah, I got it right here.
All right, let it rip because I put it in this pile and I shouldn't have.
So this one's expired, so it's no good. They're gonna present us with a, you know, a valid one. Do we need to do anything to make that happen financially?
You know, just to reach out to him and tell him, get you a contract for your next meeting.
Okay, so
I'll call him.
do we need a motion on that?
Yes.
You can, if you're gonna, well,
Do we have to have motion to,
no, because you don't have a dollar amount to go with what a contract is. You're going to present you the contract at the next meeting. It's just like maybe you're aware that.
okay.
Who's gonna contact them? I guess that's what I'm asking. With
Somebody needs to let them know.
one of
there's-
us?
Yeah, what needs to be, Commissioner?
I'll get ahold of Chris, I'll call him.
So you're gonna call him?
I'll call Chris.
All right.
Thank you.
Gives an updated contract.
Yeah.
Website support and maintenance proposal, I do not know, this is out of my wheelhouse, so Mr. IT, this is all you, brother.
I looked this over. Is Dave Martin here? No? Okay.
We met with him a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
updated a couple of people, and on the site itself, he's offered, again, there's 3 different amounts. Couple of hours, 4 hours, it'd be worth the contract for 4 hours, it'd be $5,040 a year. To have him available every single month to come in and help get stuff uploaded, to work with the departments and each one of them individually, at least 2 hours. I currently have the 5,000 in our budget that would pay him for this year. If we want to just do something to review the year, or if we want to make it a year, we could do it and then put it in the budget for next year. But it is something that would be very beneficial. Beth can't, we're struggling between asset management and the webpage to keep up.
How much time are you putting in on the webpage, do you think?
For our office, there's a lot of stuff, minutes need posted. I'm just trying to keep up with agendas right now and dates, meetings, all that.
Okay, so let me just make sure I got the process down. This guy's gonna take care of the whole website for all departments. Did we talk with him about how that information gets to him so he can disseminate it out to the website?
He's going to physically be here the majority of the time.
Okay.
Whether it's 2 hours a month or 4 hours a month, that's his offer, is to come and be here and help us.
Actually, Norm, Heather can vouch for this too. It's not difficult to put things up there. Once you know how to do it,
Right.
each department can have their own.
The problem's gonna be getting the information to put up there, and then to make sure it stays up to date, because that's one of the things that when we hear from people, everything's outdated, nothing's right, the address is wrong, phone number's wrong. So as long as he's got a channel to get that information, then I can get on to him if it's not done.
We
Right.
gotta make sure people are getting the information.
Right,
to
right,
them.
I guess that's what I'm asking
That's
is.
the problem right there.
Yeah,
Right.
it's the department.
And I'll just say it, I mean, I don't know who all's listening, it doesn't matter. If we don't get the information to the website guy, then there's no need in paying him to update it, because there'll be nothing to update. We have to get the information to this guy, and this is not outlined.
Absolutely.
This is not outlandish at all. And I would make a motion that we do the 4 hours a month. But we're gonna have to make sure that we get them the information, because if we don't, we've wasted our money, and we're still gonna get dinged for stuff being wrong on the website if we don't get it up there. Is that a good enough rant? But I'll make a motion that we go 4 hours a month with Dave. If there is a problem, if you guys come up with a problem, if one of the department heads comes up with a problem, obviously contact me, I'll get a hold of Dave, and we'll work it out. But we gotta get the information to him. If we don't, it's not his fault if he doesn't get the correct information.
It is, we struggle to get people to get us information or to do. We have a few of the departments that are getting theirs out there and doing it. Same thing with the asset program. It's like pulling teeth, we're begging. She's probably spending a couple hours a week just getting people to put their inventory on there. And we're getting written up for it. It's one of the things that Board of Councils, Ohio Steps ordinance do. So we need teeth from you guys, making sure that the department heads understand I don't have anything against the departments, but we can't just keep saying, hey, get this in here, get this in here. We're spending hours a week just trying to get those 2 or 3 things done. So if we get to that point, I'll just ask that you stand up and help someone.
You tell me who they are and I'll take it from there. Okay? Good?
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
4 hours a month, sir. What my motion is.
I'll second.
4 hours a month, I will pay the first year because I do have it in my budget. And we'll see what next year brings or get it in the common budget. Is that?
And this is just a 1-year contract, right? I believe.
Yes.
That's what I read.
Correct. Got a motion, got a second, all in favor? Aye. 3-0. Plan Commission, Woods rezone. Mr. Woods, like to come up? No, you, yeah. How many woods you got here now? That's some woods, and this,
More in the back row.
uh-oh, piling up on us, aren't you? Uh-huh. I just had back surgery, be easy on me, okay?
Yep. So I'm gonna take the lead on this one. Couple of things that I need from you. Okay. And, number one, I need you to get a drainage test or a drainage report done on that property for me.
Okay.
Okay? Number two, I need you to verify with NDOT the width that they gave you at the road. Because if it's actually 10 feet, like I'm told it is, it's not wide enough for 2 cars, one to come in and one to go out. Now, I know it's a family split, I get that part, but you still need more than 10 feet, that's pretty tight. So verify with them, get that looked at. The last thing, and I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse, but I'm going to. There's talk that we may be looking at potentially doing something with that acreage right next to you of an industrial nature. And I just wanted you to know before you spend any money out there, that that's a possibility. Now, I understand that due to our comprehensive plan and our ordinances, we would have to leave a green space between you and that property, a little bit down through there. But I don't want you, spending your money and your hard-earned cash building houses for your kids and stuff, and not knowing that that property's a potential. Now, I don't know where we're gonna go with it. We gotta make an application. We're way, way off from that, but that's another thing. So, we can't really do anything with it tonight because I need those 2 things from you first, okay? And then, we've got the finding of facts now, and those look good, but I do need those things from you, okay? And once we got those, you'll come back, get to deal with Heather. When you get that stuff, get it to her, get the permit, and make sure it needs to be 20, would be my guess, 18 at the minimum. And then we can revisit it, okay?
Okay.
But these things it'll make your life easier and ours if you get these things for us, okay? Hopefully that doesn't hold you up too long, but
It is what it is.
I'm just saying, it'll make yours and our life easier if you go that route, okay? If you guys have anything.
No, he did mention, and so I'm gonna bring this up, another conspiracy thing that has been brought to light. And Heather is here, I'm not perfect. I do things sometimes I get the cart before the horse. And I did. Absolutely no ill intentions on my part to put the cart before the horse. I'm trying to learn stuff too as a commissioner. We have 2 pieces of property on Franklin, one on south of Franklin and one by your property on the north side of 86 acres. And I thought, I was thinking outside the box here a little bit, and my wife tells me I need to stay in the box. I do better in my own play box than I get in somebody else's. But I thought, man, we'll get an application. and maybe get that piece rezoned, get it looked at to see what potential that piece of property would have for the benefit of the community. There's nothing on my part to do anything wrong, but I didn't bring it to the commissioners first to say, hey, what's your thought on this, maybe getting this rezoned? Heather did bring to me that both properties are on one deed. We'd have to get those deeds separated. I know the town has looked at whatever the word's called from Commonwealth Studies to try to move some utilities south down to there. They're looking at what it's going to cost, even if it's even feasible to do so. Maybe to bring water and sewer on down that way. So I put the cart before the horse. I was get the application, and I thought, well, I'll just go to the planning and zoning and ask to get rezoned. Well, I left these two guys out. I can't do that. We have no idea what's going to become of that property, but it does concern you because it's going to be next door to you. So I wanted to bring this up. But I also want to bring up to the public that, once again, got hammered over this because of my putting the cart before the horse, and I take full responsibility. It's nothing to do with Heather, nothing to do with this board. I'm sorry. I just thought I was doing the right thing, and that way we could have went to the planning commission, got it rezoned, then tried to see what we could do with the property. Shame on me. All right, I screwed up. Well, some people don't like that because they don't understand. And the reason they don't understand because it's not their idea. This has the potential to help this county in a way to bring some economic development. Marcy King is here from EDC. That's her job, isn't it correct, Marcy?
Yes, that's my job.
Her job is to go out and see what's available to help. What avenues are available for this county, not only for the commissioners, but for the council and the town? What avenues we can create to help bring in more business for this community and more revenue. That property is not on the tax roll. We have no intention of selling the property, but we thought maybe if we got it rezoned to industrial, maybe we got some business that might want to come in, put it back on the tax roll, and also have a leasing agreement to bring in income. The goal of this, Commissioner, is one of our goals, and I had a meeting about this, is to help finance our roads. We don't have the money, the council doesn't have the money. The state cut our budget $600,000 this year, and the council, thank God the council, Paulie's here, they shored up that 600 shortfall, but we didn't get no extra. So we're just trying to find innovative ways to maybe not only bring business into the community, which is a help, but also ways to bring revenue into this county. You're a lot there for your kids and stuff. It's great. I think it's a wonderful thing. Get a couple things done, turn it into him. I don't see no problem with it at all. But I want to apologize to the community because I did put the cart before the horse. No ill intent whatsoever, even though I'm being accused of it. And that's okay too, because people are ignorant. But I do want to read a little something, and I'm not putting you on the spot, sir, but it does concern you. The Owen County Board of Commissioners would like to formally request the rezoning of approximately 86 acres located on State Highway 43, parcel number whatever, for its current agricultural designation to industrial use. This request is made in consideration of several important opportunities for Owen County's economic growth and long-term sustainability. Presently, the property is not contributing to the county's tax base. Rezoning and activating this parcel will allow the county to attract new business investment, thereby increasing tax revenue and supporting public services. I'm sure if you built 4 homes for your kids, you'd like to hook onto water and sewer. There's the thought, see, it's because Additionally, Owen County is well positioned to pursue funding through the Economic Development Administration to assist with the infrastructure improvements necessary to support industrial development on this site. There is a defined timeline associated with these funding opportunities, and initiating the rezoning process promptly will be critical to ensuring eligibility and competitiveness. Everything's got timeline. Expanding industrial development in Owen County will also help diversify the local economy, reduce reliance on a limited number of industries, and strengthen economic resilience. Most importantly, this growth will create new employment opportunities with competitive wages, enabling residents to work closer to home and supporting stronger, more connected families with our community. We believe this rezoning represents a strategic and forward-looking investment in Owen County's future. So that is something that I'm going to ask this board if they're interested in. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's simply we're looking at a source. That is Marcy King's job. But here's the catch. Now, I'm putting you on tape. The fact of it is, there's people out there that do not like her because she's doing her job. Me and her have known each other for years. I don't always agree with everything she comes up with at all. But her job, she provided us and the public with a quarterly report of what she has done. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Come from you, correct?
Yes.
If anybody wants this is a quarterly report from the EDC, Chamber of Commerce, what they've done for this community and what they're doing for this community. But the fact boils down to, sir, is some people do not like Marcy King, and they don't care what she does or what she says or where she's going to go. They are not going to like anything that she does. So it falls back on the commissioners. They don't like me because I like her. That's a shame, and it's only a very, very small group of people, and you know what? Not worth talking about. Board of Commissioners is going to move forward. This is not a guarantee that we're going to be doing anything down there on the 86 acres. It'll be brought to the public if we get some ideas. If she comes up with some ideas, innovative ideas, the town is working on stuff. It's all going to come together for the public to know. No secret squirrel society, even though I did put the cart before the horse. Whip me 3 times, whatever you need to do. It's not ill intentions. This could bring a big benefit to you and your family at that piece of property if things happen that way. We don't know. We're a long way from that. But folks, if we don't take a step to try to move forward, our tax base is so low in this county, we only have a very small window of even places to build, like residential homes or neighborhoods. We only have a very small, maybe 3% to build residential homes and neighborhoods on. That's all we have. We need to take the opportunity to see what we can do to promote growth so people our age are not paying all the tax burden. We need people living here. We need people working here, contributing to Owen County. You know, you build homes for your kids. There's 4 homes. That gets on the tax roll, does it? Maybe they shop here and buy groceries here. It all comes together. So this Board of Commissioners is not looking to weasel our way in or sneak around with Marcy King and try to do something unhandled. That's not what we're doing. We're just trying to look for ways to help the community. Because I'm looking at ways, 1, to help pay for a jail, and 2, to help fix our roads. Our roads are a desperate situation. Desperate situation. But we're trying to find ways. So that's where we're at. Get the 2 things that Commissioner Warner requested from you. Get them to Heather, bring it to us. I don't see any hindrances on my part from this. I think it's a good idea. And hopefully this Board of Commissioners will proceed with the application. We'll see where it brings. It may not lead us to nowhere. The Bible tells you have not because you ask not. And I'm going to ask. Hopefully to give us some direction. Hopefully there's something that comes up through this that will help all of us, you know. That's my spiel for this today.
So
I'm tired of talking.
my motivation there is, obviously, you would have industrial in front of you. I will tell you that we will leave a green space because we have to.
Yes.
And, boy, it'd be nice if we could get you water and sewer out there. I'd like to do that before you have to dig 4 wells and 4 septic tanks, but I don't know that the timing will work out. We'll see. We've still got, I mean, we got to fill out an application, get it to them. That's going to take months. I don't know what your timeline is, but if you'll get that back to us, we'll reconsider it with that information in there. And then I just wanted to get it on record that you were told that that property in front of you could potentially end up industrial, so that you know, and I know, and the public knows that you've been told.
Yep.
Because-
Aware.
Okay, I appreciate it, and I wish you the best, and just get me that stuff back, and we'll reconsider it at one of the meetings here as soon as you can get it back to us, okay?
Sounds good.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
This, once again, this quarterly report was sent to the commissioners. You've all got this report. It was set in due time before the deadline. So the person listening to this, you're wrong. We got the report. This is the public report. If anybody would like to get the copies, I think maybe there's maybe some copies up there, some copies down here. Please get this. This is the quarterly report that Marcy gives us every quarter, tells us what EDC is doing. Is that correct?
That's correct, I have extra copies too.
Do you have anything you'd like to say about this report?
I mean, I'd love to go through it, but I mean, we've already had a long meeting, so you want me to hit the highlights?
Hit the highlights. Yeah, I mean, we're here.
Come on
till-
up here, though.
We're here till the cows come home.
So the first thing that we reported on was that at the end of last year, the state had given $25 million to McCormick's Creek State Park to help rebuild its campground. But at the end of 2025, we found out that that $25 million had been taken back and that McCormick's Creek was not planning on getting that money. It was at that time that Economic Development set a meeting with the senators and representatives as well as the commissioners in town. We had a meeting at the Canyon Inn, and the governor's office was there, and it was at that meeting that the governor's office went ahead and pledged for that $25 million to go ahead and be put towards the rebuild of the campground. Since then, we've established a communication line with the DNR in the park, because I've shared with them, hey, the community really needs to know what's going on. I mean, there is definite economic impact that's being felt because we're missing out on 750,000 people annually. I have an economic impact report. Again, if anybody wants to see that, that's public, and I can definitely share that. I believe I already have. This paragraph just gives a real quick synopsis from the park saying that the project is now in the final design stage, and it is anticipated to bid this summer and construction to begin in late fall or early winter of this year.
Awesome.
So we're still at least a year, 2 years out from that campground being open, but that's really important for our businesses to know because they know how to survive and they need to know how long they need to do it. So that kind of gives them a timeline on that. Spencer goes gig speed. Of any town that has the population that Spencer has in the state of Indiana, there is no other town with this population that's going to be what Spencer's going to be at the end of this year. So since 2020, I've been working with the town of Spencer to figure out how to get fiber to all of the county. 100% is the goal. We are at 99.58% since 2020, and in 2020 we were 30% covered. The town went ahead and signed an agreement with Mainstream, again, at the end of 2025, but now again with established communication, you can see that they are still projected to have all of that fiber built out for the entire town done by the end of 2026, and the people who are interested in having that fiber can start in Q3 and Q4 purchasing that fiber from them, and it is very affordable. The Sweet Owen Arts Park proposal will be sent to the Indiana Economic Development Corporation through the Indiana Destination Corporation on April 15th. That is the deadline. This is a parks plan that the town had in the basement of the chamber. That was their master plan that they were done in 2014. We have taken that master plan over the course of the last 2 years. We have worked a plan together to activate Cooper Commons along the river, and in conjunction with our Arts Commission to make a Sweetown Arts Park to help emphasize our arts community and partner with the artist entrepreneurs within the community to help them make money off of their art. This is probably going to be about a $5 million request, and like you said, you don't know till you ask. So we're going to go ahead and ask, and we'll see what happens. The welcoming grant, that was something that Regional Opportunity Initiatives did designate to the economic development this year for $16,700. We have been partnering with Ivy Tech for the last 2 years to offer workshops in the upstairs of the chamber for local businesses so they can learn different finances, human resources, and take a deeper dive. 2 out of 3 businesses do not make it past year 5. So we want to make sure that our small businesses are successful beyond that. So what we do is we create workshops for those businesses to make sure that they're getting everything they need to be successful. We had 23 graduates, I believe, from Base Camp last year, and fortunately this is what this is we're receiving funding to go ahead and do that again to partner with Ivy Tech. The QR codes are down there for you to see all of the members. We are at 278 members. 6 years ago we were at 162, so we've grown quite a bit in the county. And then over, since you can see there, direct investment since 2020 is $109 million. $109 million of actual dollars that I can point to. That's not projected money that comes from investment. That is direct investment dollars that have come into Owen County since 2020. That's a big deal.
That's a lot of money. Well, I thank you, Marcy. I do want to apologize for the criticism that you received. It's unwarranted, it's unfounded, it's not fair. You're doing a job that was hard to do. Whether we agree or disagree on certain things, it should never change somebody's friendship. And for those that it has, I pray for everybody. I pray for peace in this county from head to toe. And I personally want to thank you for everything that you're doing to try to help the county move in ways that is productive. And I may not always agree with you, but you've always been my friend, I always love you. So thank you.
I appreciate that. It is a privilege to do my job. I absolutely love it. I love giving back to my
You're
community.
good at it.
Keep bringing stuff in.
I will.
Thank you, Marcia.
Before I leave, will the county commissioners be taking a vote on sending that to the planning commission?
You will?
Before I leave, will the county commissioners be taking?
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
have to write up an application first.
We got, we can get that done. The one that I filled out, because I put the cart before the horse, I chopped it, guys, because I didn't think it was right. Okay, I got a new application here. I'm just gonna call it out. I would like to ask the Board of Commissioners for us to fill out an application for rezoning, get a new deed for the north lot. Beth, I think you can probably help us, direct us on how we need to do that, since you worked in the title company for a long
Can
time.
I interject? I think we gotta split it first. We gotta have it surveyed and split, and then we can, because we'll have to fill out application on a specific,
Okay,
number, what do you call it?
Well,
The lot number, the
parcel.
parcel. So, thank you.
This survey's been done. You guys have had a survey for a long time.
But we're gonna have to break it up, because we're gonna have to leave a green space between OSI and the wood property. We have to do that. And then we have to separate it from the one that's across the road, because it's
Yeah.
all one lot, right?
That part's finished.
That part's done?
You actually have the
Okay.
survey for that, to split the 2 parcels.
Okay.
It's been done already, it's been done for a long time.
Okay,
But what you don't have is the deeds to finalize that split. That's,
okay.
you guys are halfway to the point you need to be.
All right, so,
You really need to get that what's north of Franklin Road surveyed.
Yes.
Just for the fact that it'll have its own descriptions, because there's so many deeds out on that original.
until we get that parcel number, we can't really do an application.
Okay, let's do what we need to do. So we need to make a motion then
Yeah.
to get the north lot, the 86 acres, its own deed
Right,
and survey.
Yes.
Is that what we need to do?
yes.
before we can go through with the application. Is that correct?
So, yes, I had talked to Lynette about this piece of property anyways recently, and Lynette had talked to me, she works with Jason in the mapping, and Lynette had told me that since you have the survey for the southern portion done, that if you would do the separate deeds, so, and this is mapping, so this is above and beyond me, but, she said that if you did your separate deeds for those two parcels, that would be able to initiate that split, because the remainder would essentially be the parent parcel. So mapping would be able to generate what you need from the deeds.
Right. So we can generate the deeds for the two individual parcels. And then the north parcel will need to split a green space out of. And I'll look at we need to look at the ordinance
we'll
and
need
see
to
what
find
that
out what
minimum green space is. And then at that point, we would split those two parcels again.
So you
And
would
then
need
the-
a survey for that.
Right,
portion.
and then the parcel that's left is the one that then we would look at. But there's a bunch of steps here, so we
So
can't
we
do
need-
that until we get this
need-
done.
So we gotta do that before we do
Understand?
that.
It's all a process.
So, Beth, can you help direct us on what steps, what do we need to do to
Well,
get,
We gotta get these two parcels separated on their own deeds. That's number one.
somebody has to do the deed?
Right.
That's where your attorney comes in. That's a
Oh.
legal document.
Oh, county attorney, hey, good to see you. Glad to be here. Can you handle that?
So-
So he'll get the deed done.
Once we get those, then we can go off of the north, we'll call it the north lot, because it's not got a number right now. And we need to check our green space, minimum green space. We need to have that surveyed out, and it becomes its own parcel with its own parcel number. And then the parcel that's left over, which would be the parent parcel in this case, would be the one that we would look at rezoning.
Yes,
Okay.
no, yes, Paul?
I have a question. Isn't that the same, that's where the old land used to be, is that correct? Is
Not
that-
No, the other side.
It's on the other side?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's over by the west side.
So this
So-
isn't the property that was gonna be the land
No.
swapped with it? Okay.
No.
Got it.
No, but and I didn't know this, but they say they're already separated, they just don't have a deed for each one of them yet. So we gotta get that done first. Then we can take the one on the north side, and we can split it, leave the green space, and then we can look at rezoning that one.
That's what will require a survey, so if that's
Right.
something you guys will have to vote on, just remember that.
Okay, good. No, maybe I did put the cart way before the horse, I guess, I'm sorry.
Ran over the horse.
But I can't help it. I didn't like the horse.
The horse is behind you, Sam.
So, but we can go ahead and get that surveyed, find out what the green space is. We can go ahead and get it surveyed, get that done, have the green space surveyed, whatever it's gotta be, where it's gotta be for Mr. Woods and anybody else surrounding that. So we can go ahead and get the survey and get that done,
Then we can do the deed.
then you take care of the deed. I make a motion that we, that we get a survey for the 86 acres north of Franklin Road. In that survey, it has to determine the green space needed. Is that enough?
Do we have to bid that survey out?
No.
That should go under the, I
No,
don't
it's
think that would
too,
do that, right?
it's too small, it's not gonna go over
Just
the budget.
just checking, just want to make sure.
So, make a motion to get a survey done with the green space included, so we know the separation of that parcel, they each have their own parcel then. Green space have parcel, what's remaining will have a parcel. Once we get the survey done, we get the deed done, get the application turned in, and kumbaya. I make a motion, we get a survey for the 86 acres with the green space involved.
And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
3-0.
And then the public hearing will be conducted by the planning commission once the application's actually gone to them, once all this other stuff's done. Just so everybody's clear.
There you have it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Marcy.
Thank you, Marcy. Thank you, Marcy.
Before we move forward, the lady from Elliston Court, young ladies, Shawshank Prison, come on up, please. You don't want you to have to sit here any longer. I didn't bring no cookies or muffins or anything.
I got a phone call requesting signatures of all the neighbors for approval of our request. And we already did that the first part of March. We had one that was in Florida, so we contacted him, and he also agreed to our proposal of the road being maintained by the county.
Okay. So the county attorney is gonna fill you in. There's a couple more things that he needs, okay?
A couple more things are needed?
Yes.
Oh boy, now what?
Well, we have to have the declarations that created the homeowners association. Tell you what, if you give me your phone number, I can call you about it.
812-876.
Hold on.
He's not that quick.
No, I am not that quick.
I'm sorry, don't.
812.
I better give you my cell phone, 812-935-4460.
Okay. So basically what I'll need is the declarations for that created the homeowners association.
So you're gonna write up the declaration for us then? Proper terminology, and we can, everybody sign it?
Well, I'll call you about it tomorrow,
Okay,
okay?
okay. I read, he probably passed over the signature list to you.
Yes, I have that.
Yeah.
And that now has the signatures of everyone who owns property in that
Yes.
subdivision?
Yes,
Okay.
except for Randy Patterson in Florida, but he gave us the verbal agreement, he's in Florida. And I was told that would be acceptable.
Well, we'll see. I'll talk to my real estate person and ask them.
Okay.
What is his name?
Randy Patterson. His cell phone number's on that sheet,
Okay.
if you want to talk to him.
Is he gonna come back to town anytime soon?
I'm sorry, what?
Is he gonna be back in town anytime soon?
I'm not sure when. I
Okay.
would guess anytime.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So you get took care of sooner than later.
So is there something else beside the declaration that we also have to do?
The hole that's in the road, there's one hole,
It's
okay?
about this big.
Yeah, you just have to fix that.
We need to fix it?
Yes, that's on you.
We can handle it.
And then the other thing was legal fee.
Yeah.
Yeah, the homeowners are responsible for any legal fees. All that's, whatever.
Now, because of that, if the homeowners want to get their own attorney to do that work, rather than having me do it, you could.
I don't have my hearing aids in, so I
Okay.
can't hear very well.
The county doesn't want to pay the legal fees to get this work done.
To get this
Okay.
processed.
That's right.
Okay.
That's going to be up to the homeowners.
Do you have an idea of what that might cost?
I don't, because if my firm were to do it, I'd have to talk to the lawyer who does real estate work and ask. And I haven't done that. But your other option is you might be able to get somebody locally who could do it for you. You don't have to use me or my firm. You could get somebody to do it locally.
Well, since you know what's going on with it, it might be best if you handle that for us?
Well, okay. Because the answer is no. I really can't do that, okay? I think that's something that you homeowners ought to get your own lawyer to do, okay? But again, let me call you about that tomorrow, okay?
Okay. Okay.
It'll happen. We'll
Long
figure it
process,
out.
isn't it?
Yeah, everything is.
Okay, thank you.
I think Randy's back. I saw him when he crashed yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's back?
Yeah. I saw him when he crashed yesterday.
Well,
Might have him run in here and sign it himself, and that way that's one less hurdle.
yeah,
There's one less problem.
if you see Randy, just tell Randy to come here and sign that page.
Okay.
The auditor, You have it? We'll get you a copy of it. He'll make a copy. Just tell Randy he needs to sign that. Flood, now we're up to, and this is where the county attorney's gonna have to help me on this document here. This floodplain
Yes.
prevention ordinance, I'll just let you take over because
Well, Heather's handled much more of it than I have, and I think she might be able to explain it a little better, and I can explain what I did.
I mean, in a nutshell, our ordinances haven't been updated in a very, very long time. For everything really is needing an update, but floodplain is one that we have to legally update. The state requires that update. Federally, we're required to do that update for FEMA because we have floodplain insurance and flood hazard insurance for the county. That flood hazard insurance, we won't be able to maintain that. They will not keep giving that to us if we don't update our ordinances to match state standard. So I worked with DNR, got an ordinance for you all to review that brings us up to state standards. It retains, there was a few things in there that our ordinances did above and beyond state requirements. I made sure those stayed in there. I didn't want those removed because they protect the county too. But other than that, it really just brings us up to that state level requirement.
so this does bring us up to the state level requirement.
Yes.
And I spoke to the representatives at DNR earlier this week, went through all this with them, and yeah, they are comfortable that the revised ordinance that you've got in front of you will meet the state requirements. And they said the same thing, that you basically got to do it.
So we have to do it. You've read through it.
Yeah.
You're comfortable with this?
Yes.
I read through it, guys, and I'll be honest with you, it's hard to understand.
It is.
I don't understand all that, but you know, Heather, you understand it? The county attorney understands it. It does bring us up to the state requirements that we're supposed to bring it up to, correct?
Yes.
So, what is the ordinance number? What will this ordinance number be?
004.
004? That's pretty easy. Well, then I make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 004 concerning the flood damage prevention ordinance for Owen County. Is that what you need?
Yes, thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
3-0.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
We need to get that added to the.
Yes.
Okay.
I had this separated out a while ago, and I've got, I'll find it after a while. Highway Department review and updates.
So Chad, is this highway, miles of highway accurate? This is the right one?
That's what was turned into his doc.
Okay.
Did you contact that lady?
Yeah, she should be getting with me, I'd say by the end of next week.
All right.
When they're coming up. Go ahead, what you got?
E&B Paving contacted me this morning. They're wanting 2 of the 3 roads remaining for CCMG on the week of the 14th. We will be completed with Anderson. We've got 1 more pipe to replace on P Ridge, and both those roads will be ready to turn over. I told them it's going to be a while before they can get Hollybrook because we haven't got started on it. And majority of the time right now, I'm working with 8 to 10 guys on the road. Got 1 on medical leave, 1 that just had a new baby and he's on the paid parental leave for 6 weeks. And then with normal vacations, sick days, I got 8 guys on the road most of the time.
So, you say you're gonna be done with Anderson Road by next week?
Should be done by next week.
Okay.
And
Well,
you
is that,
said P Ridge was one more pipe to go on P Ridge and you'll have it ready to go? And what's the total mileage on those two roughly? I mean, how long will it take those guys to pave it, I guess is what I'm asking.
Oh, it'll probably take them 4 to 5 days to do both roads.
so all of P Ridge is done except for one
We
culvert?
got one road pipe to put in.
Something back there. Okay, I was out on Anderson Road today. I was out on Newark, was that, what's that,
Newport.
I'd like to meet you out there on Monday. Let me see. Sorry, Chad, I'm trying to figure out, sometime Monday, because I'd like to go over Anderson Road. A couple of things on Anderson Road that, we're going to have to address. But I also want to address the 400 ton of stone that they dumped on New York Road, or what's the road called?
Is it Newport?
Newport? Yeah, I was out there today, I'm just confused about the stone. About 6 inches deep.
But you gotta remember the sandstone and everything that's showing through.
Yeah.
If you don't put it that deep, you cannot get it.
And that's the reason we'll just meet out there and you can go through what's your thoughts on it.
I just feel like no matter what we do, it's gonna be wrong.
And I'm
And
saying,
I'm at the point that I'm ready to walk.
well, you know, you do whatever you need to see fit. But here's what I'm thinking. I'm just going out there and this is my look, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm not saying it's wrong or it is wrong, it's not wrong. I'm just saying what I seen. I don't understand it. That's the reason I want to meet up. Maybe you can explain to me.
That whole hillside is sandstone.
It's a mess.
And the only way we're gonna be able to fix it without putting stone on it,
Chip and seal.
or pave.
Yeah, and that's the reason I was out there today looking at
And
the
that's
roads.
a majority of the roads that we're wasting gravel on. It's the same situation
You know, and
throughout this entire county.
It is out in the entire county, but, and I don't want you upset. I'm not here badmouthing anything. It was just something that I seen in a certain area. That road had about 6 inches of stone on it.
There's a sandstone shelf under it.
And there's 400 ton of stone on the sides of the road. And I know we got a grader out there and stuff like that. I didn't know if that grader could be utilized, one, to help shore up what's laying off to the side. That is my concern, because we are dumping stone on top of stone. And that's the reason the ditching program and the culvert program will help you, because those roads can be chipped and sealed. Correct?
Yeah.
Then you won't have to do
With
the
the proper
stone.
work, and then we wouldn't have to put
That's,
stone.
well, that's what we're after. Not mad at you by no means, I just didn't, that one area that I went through, I was concerned about. I didn't understand it. And maybe there's something I don't understand about it. It is a mess for you. One of the biggest problems that you don't have enough help. Now, it's my understanding that Commissioner Rest addressed you about some of that
We
today.
talked about it today.
Is that today?
Yes.
So, we're not against it by no means, but
I know. It's just-
it's frustrating, because I see what's going on with you. I see what's going on with your crew. We're in 14 guys, 2 guys are off, and it's down to 12. Vacation, sick time, stuff like that. You don't hardly have enough crew to work on one road.
We don't.
And
we're having to pick and choose.
You're not gonna, we're gonna help you with that picking and choosing to the best of our ability. And the reason that we're gonna do that is the culverts, the ditching, and stuff like that. There's a lot of things that local contractors that we could probably do to help you, because you can't do it all, Jack. I know it's frustrating. I bet you go home and pound your head every night thinking, what am I gonna do? This is nothing, this is not a personal attack against you, brother, believe me. We've been around this block too many times. But these board of commissioners are going to help you, but with every turn that we come against, and you've been coming against this for however long, it's a money issue.
Yeah.
I had a person scold me, and I let them rant and rave about how $3.4 million budget, we should be taking care of every road in the county. I spoke to her today, how we're dissecting that budget. They had no idea that 1.2, 1.3 of that was payroll and stuff like, they had no clue. They thought that $3.4 million is what goes on the roads. They don't understand.
And the cost
And
of
we're gonna try to educate them,
trucks.
because we're getting a spreadsheet out and we're gonna have it done, and Sheila's been working on it, and we're gonna give it to the public. Here's the budget. Here's how much you got spent on the roads. It's not your fault that there's not enough money there. This board of commissioners went to the council we asked for $4 million from the state to give us $4 million more to go to solely roads. We requested that, council approved it. What did the state do?
Cut it.
They laughed, along with some other people. Then they turned around and cut us $600,000. If they would have, and thank God that the council shored up that $600,000, because if they hadn't shored up the $600,000, we'd close the highway. Because you can't operate. We can't operate on $3.4 million. But for the public to understand, $3.4 million is not all the money that goes on the roads. It's not even a thimble that goes on the roads. So your frustration, because you have to spread stone, which I do understand, my frustration is, what can we do to help you? Instead of having to spread that stone over and over again. It costs $180,000 to pave a mile of road, give or take.
Yes.
It costs $80,000 to $100,000 to chip and seal a road, correct?
Yes.
Give or take. Okay, so we've gotten 15 roads, 5 in his ditch, 5 in mine, 5 in his. We're gonna ditch. We're gonna put it out the bid and see what's gonna cost. I don't know what's gonna cost to ditch and put culverts in. You can't do it. No fault to you or the county highway.
That
You can't
bid
do it.
will include them doing all of it.
They're doing all of it.
Material hauling and all, because I can't,
Yeah.
I don't have enough to keep.
There's not. So once we get those bids back, then we'll have to see what the cost is, probably have to go to council and see if there's any funding, any revenue source. And if we can get those roads done, that's 15 roads. Then we come back and we look at those 15 roads. What's it gonna cost to chip and seal those roads? Same thing, keeps your revolving door going. And you know what? Maybe we can't chip and seal. So what does Chad Walker do? If you can't chip and seal a road, if you don't have money to chip and seal a road, Lord knows you don't have the money to pave the roads. So Chad Walker's at the mercy of spreading stone. My frustration today was not with you, it was frustration of the fact that we have to keep wasting taxpayers' money on stone when we've got to turn the corner somewhere. I think the council knows that.
Yeah.
We've got to make this corner.
But I was just saying, right now I have no choice.
You have no choice.
Keep the roads open
Yeah.
and moving, I've got to throw stone on them.
And it's, once again, I don't want you to think I was coming down there because I'm not. But somewhere, we've got to make the turn. And the fact of it is, you're understaffed, you need help, you're gonna get help. We're budgeted for help. We're gonna get some help, we're gonna get some good help. I believe they've asked to hire operators. That way operators can do everything. You hire labor, they can't drive a truck or can't operate. You hire an operator, they can operate a dump truck and operate a shovel, part of operations, I think. That's how it works. It costs us a little more, but we have to have that flexibility. Okay, so I didn't mean, I wasn't jumping on you. So I know I understand your frustration. It's got to hurt. You're spinning your wheels. And it hurts because you take your job serious, because you wouldn't be sitting here the way you are now if you didn't take your job serious. So,
And so did the guys at the highway.
I watched them work. I was out there, they was putting in pipe, laying stone and rock and dirt, moving dirt. I sat out there for, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes or so. Not because I was checking out, I just want to see how, how it was going, so.
We're moving along at a great pace out there, I believe, for what we're having to redo.
So, Jack, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
On the road up to the cemetery, where are you going after you're done out on these two that you're doing right now? Are you gonna go to the cemetery? When are you gonna get out on Hollybrook?
We gotta go to Hollybrook next.
Gotta go Hollybrook next, okay.
'Cause
Just that,
That's the 25 CCMG. We've gotta get those
right.
completed.
And
before
that's
we
gonna
move
be
on
a
to the
while.
new ones.
That's gonna be a while.
What's
You're
that?
gonna be on that one a while.
It'll take us a while.
Yeah.
I don't think we've been on Anderson Road, what, 3 weeks now? 2 weeks? 2 weeks?
About 2 weeks.
You think it'll be
I'm thinking
longer?
Hollybrook is gonna take 3 to 4 weeks.
So when are the NB wanting to pave Anderson and Porter Ridge?
They're wanting
Or
to
not
have
Porter?
them released to them the week of the 14th, so the week after next.
April 14th?
Yes. And part of that reasoning is they're locked into the price. I know what the reasoning is. Prices are going up. They're wanting to get it down before the price goes up. They don't want to lose money either, I guess what it
I understand, they're in it to make money,
Yeah.
but the cost of everything is about going through the roof.
I have contacted Asphalt Materials about a price for our upright tank to start the hole patchers up.
Mm-hmm.
Contacted them Monday. I haven't got a price back.
Okay.
They're not sure where the price is gonna land right now. And that's gonna come up for us for everything.
And this is something that the public, has to,
We go to chip and seal, we
Yeah.
go to do patch and holes, all that is oil-based materials.
well, you know what the oil crisis is right now.
It's just shooting through the roof, so.
That's gonna get worse before it gets better. So for the public that's listening and the public that's here, Chad, and once again, no disrespect to you, and I didn't mean to come off that way at all. It's frustrating for you, it's frustrating for the Board of Commissioners, I know it's frustrating for the taxpayers. It's a frustrating scenario because money is key. If we had $10 million, I could spend $10 million in a week. I spend $10 million a week.
And it wouldn't go that far.
No. And the dribbles and drabs, once again, I thank the council for showing up to 600,000, because if we hadn't got that, we wouldn't be in business. And that's sad. We went from 20-some employees, or 26,
We had
32.
We had 35 total with part-times.
So we've lost a lot of employees.
We're down to 16.
And maternity leave, sickness, stuff like that, and vacation, you can't deny people a vacation. So the crew that you got, they get to work on one road, while the other 600 don't get work done. It's no fault of
And we're
yours.
jumping like, the only thing that is going constant is getting these CCMG roads ready, because I have to. Couple days, wind picks up, I got trees down. I had to take a couple guys to go clean up trees, that shuts down the hot box. We just don't have enough man, so it's frustrating for us. I know it's frustrating for the citizens, because what we used to be able to call ins and we'd be able to get out to the road within 2 weeks and get it filled, that's not happening. Not even close.
Well, we're gonna take these 15 roads, and Benita's still here. They got 5, I got 5, and they got 5, so there's 15 roads, and we've got we're gonna put together a spreadsheet with Benita helping, and bring us back in 2 weeks, to where all the culverts need to be. I mean, we're not engineers by no means, but we can
I can get out.
When you get time to get out. You have no time to go out and look at
But I
these
mean,
roads.
if you want me to get out to look at pipes and stuff, I'm gonna have to walk all 15 of these roads to make sure I cover every one of them.
Well, you know, I think we're gonna do due diligence, the three commissioners, get out and get you a list, and this is what we got put on the spreadsheet. If we miss something, we miss something.
Well, there's always something you're gonna miss, because once you start adding ditches,
Oh,
you're
believe
gonna
me.
find spots where you're gonna need an extra.
But I was out
pipe
today, looked at a lot of roads today and stuff like that, and I do feel for you, I really do. Hopefully we can make a turn by bidding this out. I don't know what's gonna cost. But once we get the bids back, we'll know where we're at. And if we have money to do it, great. If we don't, if we don't have the resources, we just tell the public, we don't have the resources. I do not see the state allocating us any money. Now, you rest assured the Board of Commissioners coming to our budget hearings again. I'll put my $4 million right back on the table. All they can do is tell us no. But maybe they'll give us $1 million. You know, we didn't even think we was gonna get CCMG money. They come up with $903,000 for us, praise God. You know, take a whole lot more than $903,000 to fix the problems we got in this county. But it's been going on for so long, it's not fair to say Chad Walker catch up with all this stuff, okay? Because, you know, you don't have time, you don't have the manpower, and you just don't get paid enough. Let's throw that in the mix too. So that's coming.
How long will it take you guys to get those positions posted so we can start getting some applications?
We'll just have to, do I have a job description?
Do we have a job description?
We
have an old job description.
We have the job description, I think there were a couple changes that we were talking about making, but we can have that done immediately and have it posted at least 7 days, so.
We'll make whatever change you need to make.
Because
Look
we
at the
can get
job.
you
You need to look at the job description yourself. And make sure it has exactly in there your determination too. Don't just say, well, we got a job description, without look at it and say, okay, wait a minute, we need this, or we need that added in there. The Board of Commissioners will do the same. We'll get together, all three, we'll meet, have an executive meeting, go through that job description and say, we need this or this in there, or take this out, and make it a job description, it's got some teeth in it.
Okay.
Good.
Make a suggestion.
You go ahead and make the 2 suggestions if you like.
We know we have the basic operator's job description, and you guys would make a motion to allow him and Benita and Dave or one of you to look through it and get it to the council meeting on the 13th, because they have to approve the job description, and that lets you go ahead and get started, and by the 20th, you can have somebody. If not, you're gonna have to wait until the May council meeting.
I'll make a motion that Dave Risk, meet with Chad Walker and Benita, go through the job description, add, plug in, change, whatever you see fit that's gonna work as an operator. And then the operators need to understand, beyond a shadow of a doubt, the shovel is part of an operating material.
And the guys I have now know that. They
Yeah,
do it very-
I was watching the guy today, that's fine. So, I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
All in favor, 3-0,
Aye.
Dave Risk, take care of that.
And let's make sure we hit the deadline for their, what was 13th? Is that what you said?
Their meeting is
Meeting on
the
13th. Okay. Let's make sure we get it to them and get it posted. Let's hit all the deadlines. We don't want to delay this anymore than we have to. So.
What else you got there?
Well, we got bids to talk about for the 2026 CCMG and the state reimbursement for Little Flock.
You got the bids? Yep.
Not this one. It's for-
We did read the.
These bids, do we already?
The ones that you opened at the last meeting, we just have to vote on.
Have you looked at the bids, Chad?
Yes, I have. My suggestion would be to go with the lowest bid on all the projects, and that is E&B paving for both, for CCMG and for the NDOT reimbursement for Little Flock.
Okay, so with the CCMG, what's the list, what's the road list, please?
The road list, hang on just a second here.
Yeah.
I know it off the top of my head. Tower Road from 231 to Fiddler. Mitten Road from 246 to Newport. Freedom Army Road in its entirety. And then Gross Cemetery Road Lane down off of Highway 43 to the cemetery.
Tire, Mitten, Freedom Army, and Grove Cemetery. Cool. And what was your recommendation on the CCMG roads, sir?
To take the bid from E&B Paving, they were the lowest bid. I'm trying to figure out the exact price now.
Commissioners,
$975, $373, $80.
Yes.
do what? What are you talking to me?
No, I read it off.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was $975,373.80 was the low bid for the CCMG.
I'll make a motion that we accept the low bid as suggested by Chad of $975, $373, $80 for Tower Road, Mitten Road, Freedom Army Road, and Gross Cemetery Road for EMB Construction, is that their name? EMB Paving, sorry. For the 2026 Community Crossing Grant money.
Motion on the floor.
All second.
All in favor, 3-0.
Aye.
Now, let's go to the NDOT.
Okay, my suggestion would be for the Little Flock Road resurface project to go with E&B Paving. Again, they were the lowest bid at $215,879.
That's Little Flock in its entirety, correct?
Oh, yes, from 43 to State Road 43.
And how soon, is NDOT gonna send us a check?
I think I have to get the work done. So
Then they're
that
gonna
I will make
reimburse
that
you.
phone
Double
call
check
tomorrow.
that
It's a
on that.
reimbursement.
Yeah, reimbursement, there's a key word.
I've got the
I've got
paperwork.
the file back at the office.
Yeah, we have the file on all of
It
it, but
says what their stipulation was.
I couldn't remember, I've read it like twice, but I
Yeah.
don't remember.
I'll make contact with NDOT Seymour on Monday.
So what fund are you wanting to pay it out of? The reimbursement or is it?
Can you pull ours up here? The Highway Department stuff?
So we're getting to where we really have got to watch that June 30th cash balance.
Yes.
So you do not want to take out of 1176 or 1173.
Take it out of $600,000.
You've got,
1169.
yeah, I was gonna say, you've got the 1169 fund. It can run in the red until you get your reimbursement, as long as you know not to spend any more that you already have budgeted in that fund above what was to however much you said it was.
We're gonna spend the $600,000 first.
That, you're already pretty much close to that with the
Okay.
payrolls and
Okay.
and what expenses that they've already came, but that will leave that 600,000 in their 1176 fund to help, and you'll have 3 more months of the 146,000 or something like that each month.
Yeah.
It should be on that spreadsheet.
And the remind us of the two funds that has to have a cash balance in June.
1176 and 1173.
Isn't this funny how the state will give you a budget and tell you not to spend money so you can show that you have money so you can get a budget? Is that not correct? Is that not correct? They give you a budget and tell you not to, make sure you got a cash balance because he doesn't need the money, but we're supposed to spend it, but July 1, free Roy. I don't understand that.
You want me to make this motion for you?
But the council is aware.
Have it through Ms. Computer.
I'm down to one.
I got more.
Anyway, well, we can't do it, sorry. So go ahead, make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we front the money out of 1169, correct?
Yes.
until we get our reimbursement. And this was contingent upon you calling Seymour on Monday and finding out when we might get that. Regardless, we move forward with the E&B paving bid of $215,879 for the Little Flock repaving job in its entirety from 43 to 43.
Yes.
Okay, that's my motion.
I'll second.
All in favor, 3-0.
Aye.
Sorry, I lost train of thought. I'm ready to go home. What else you got?
I'm ready for your guys' 15 roads, or your 5 apiece.
You do the NDOT contract.
Yes.
Oh, wait, the HWC, I apologize.
Somebody else do that. I ain't done it. Can you get it, Dave?
Wait, where is it?
This one, you can find it in my pile. I can't find
None
anything.
lay right there on top.
Yours.
Oh, mine. Oh, the resolution. NDOT requires that there be a resolution like that that allows you, Sam, as president of the Board of Commissioners, to sign off on some of these contracts. They just require a resolution on file. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but they're requiring that you do it. There was one in place 4 years ago. The previous commissioners were here, and they need a new one. And I talked to the state about it, and I said, yeah, we need that on file. It's not a big deal.
Okay, I'll make a motion that the Board of Commissioners, or got all three of us on here, Resolution 2026-004. For the Board of Commissioners of Owen County.
The other one was an ordinance, this is a resolution, and it
Yes.
just happens to be the same number.
Good
Get me every
catch.
time.
This is concerning authorizing execution of NDOT agreements.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
3-0. All right, Chad, what else you got?
I think that's all I have, other than to get your list of roads that we need to get.
We'll get those to you, Monday. I'll bring them to you Monday. I got a couple things I want to double check on, get a spreadsheet made up. I'm clueless. So, what do you got going on Monday?
Oh, I just want to make sure I get the list in time.
You got what?
I just want to make sure I have the list in time so I can start working on this stuff.
Oh, you'll have the time.
Okay.
We want to double check on a couple things. I'll get it to you Monday, as long as you got Three Musketeers. You don't have any?
I have sat right here.
Praise God.
Written all over 'em.
Praise God. Radio project update, Chris Lunsford. Thank you, Chad, thank you. Sorry.
No, you're fine, I'm just.
Now, you guys are not working tomorrow, are you?
Probably.
Well, it's a holiday. We don't do trees, we don't do trees, we don't do trees on holidays.
You need to call something in from up above, buddy, on that one.
Chris, before you start, Mr. Wright's here for Hayden Road. You ain't mad at me, are you? Not mad at me, are you?
I think we're all a little frustrated.
Ah, we all, everybody is.
Is this on? All right. Yeah, regarding Hayden Road, honestly, I just want to know if it's one of those 15 roads. It's been a while. I got an email dated October 18th, 2024. Kevin, the project at the hill we spoke of has been approved. I expect to get the ditch and culvert work done this fall, early winter. I have 2 asphalt projects we must complete. Then we will start ditch and culvert work soon. The 2025 road plan will list the area of Hayden Road as a project. There have been admin meetings to put the 2025 plan together. Greg Melton. So getting that email of someone who lived on the road for over 20 years, got family and friends, old neighbors that still live there, that was like hitting the lottery, getting that email finally. Of course, a few short months after that, all hell broke loose with finances at the highway department. So it's just been getting pushed back, and I tried to be patient. The Lord says be patient, so I'm trying. But, and I'm not frustrated with Mr. Walker. He's got to get his CCMG roads done first. I understand that. To me, I see these 15 roads as an opportunity to get caught up on a project that was approved 2 years ago. And it's not a 5-mile long project, it's under half a mile. Starting where the gravel starts on Hyden Road to somewhere close to Dogwood Lane.
Where'd you say? I couldn't hear you. Where, from where to where?
The original project, I believe, that was approved was from where the gravel starts on Hyden Road
Okay.
to approximately somewhere around Dogwood Lane. He said it was just under a half mile.
The original project did not go that far. The commissioners, prior board approved it from the asphalt section to be from where the gravel is and the asphalt to the top of the next hill. And there's not, I don't know the address off the top of my head.
And that's fine. It's just that hill.
It's not a very long section at all.
So, let's be fair about this to Mr. Wright, because it's on the neighbors out there. Just my 2 cents worth. It's not a very big section of road. It needs ditched, it needs cleaned, and it needs to be chip and seal or asphalted or whatever. It needs to be done. I think we need to add it to the list. Okay, it adds another road, whoopee. But, I think we take that section of road, and Chad, when you have time.
Oh, I know what it needs, and I know what needs to be done, but
Okay.
we're just not having the manpower.
Okay, you know where it's at.
I know exactly what needs to be done.
Then let's put, Hyden Road, that area on the top of the list, of all 3 lists. And let's go out there and get it ditched with the culvert. And we can get hold of, does it need paved?
Yeah,
Chad?
it's, pavement is gonna be your best option.
Okay, so, let's put the bid, to get it out for bid for the culverts and the ditch cleaning, and we can contact, we got,
We should be able to use a local contractor for the asphalt on that because it's not gonna be that.
yeah, let's do that immediately. And let's put it at the top of the list. You'll be at the top of the list, that'll be the first road that gets done.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
And
And I apologize, we haven't made it there yet. Just,
That's okay, I understand. You guys are short-staffed.
well, you've been patient, but like I say, you got emails from 2024, 2025 was a nightmare. And you've been here at about every meeting, and you've not thrown anything yet. That section, yeah, you want Snickers?
I got the flips.
Oh, I don't like those. You have all of them you want. That road will be first road done.
I appreciate it, thank you.
You're welcome. It's almost 8:30, Chris.
Okay, the radio project is moving along. What we're calling the backbone of the system is in, it's being programmed. We ran into a snafu. They sent the invoices from a couple different vendors and sent the invoices from a couple different vendors. I guess the project originally was like 1.3 million. We were supposed to use ARPA money and then add it.
They originally they approved the 1.3 million, and they wanted him to look for grant funds if possible, and then it was going to come back to the council, and whatever was not available in the ARPA money, which the motion and the paper that was signed by former commissioners was $198,000 out of the ARPA money. That was spent on the claims that were just submitted. However, there's still balances due, and unfortunately, the next step, the council did not do an additional appropriation out of the LIDETA money. So it needs to go back to the council at their meeting on the 13th. And they're aware of that. They didn't, we went through minutes and everything, the Anton and Polly, and it just did not get done. So it will be an additional appropriation for whatever the difference of the claims are now, but whatever, and unfortunately, I think some prices or additional funds are needed.
Yeah, the radios, the radios have went up a lot since this got approved, so I'm gonna ask them to approve even though there's been money spent out of the project already, I'm gonna ask them to approve more money just to help pay for some of these radios. If they've got it, if we don't get it, then we'll have to figure out where to get it from, so.
You don't have, and the council had already committed.
They committed,
Conversation
yes.
to using the, it's just that step never happened. You currently have 2.6 million in there, your budget remaining that's already been appropriated is 1.4. You're bringing in $107,000 a month, so the money is there to be able to finish funding it. It's just the process to make it happen.
Chris, do you have any idea how much we're talking?
It depends on.
If you don't, it's okay,
I don't, because it depends on how fast we can act. Some radios, like myself, out of Patricksburg, I've got 11 radios that, rather than replace the radio for $1,200 a piece.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing at that number. Rather than replacing that radio for $1,200, I can put around a $600 program in it, software program that will make it compatible. I think you guys have got the same radios we do.
Same radios, so we got,
So it's just,
we got 21 of them.
it's really gonna matter, or it's really gonna, what's gonna matter is how soon we can get this funding, because, they're gonna quit making the program in June 1st, is that what they said?
Something like that, June or July.
So we've got to get on it
Then
quick.
what? If they quit making the program, what do you?
Then we've got then our radios
Or boat anchors.
will be boat anchors. So that's what we're fighting against right now. So we're really trying to get moving on it to where we can spend 600 instead of 1,200.
So let me ask you this, if we spend the 1,200, does that take the time limit off of the stop making of the program? Does that take that out of play, or is that still in play even after we get the $1,200 radios as opposed to the $600 radios?
I'm not sure I follow what you asked.
What I'm saying is, you said they're gonna quit making this thing June the 1st. Do the $1,200 radios continue to work beyond June the 1st?
Yes.
Do the $600 ones continue to work beyond June 1st?
Yes.
Okay, so.
We just have to kind of get this decided where we're gonna go, because we can order all that software as soon as we know that we've got the money. So we can order all the software we need as long as we get it before like June 1st.
And you're going to the council next meeting, 13th?
Yes.
So what do we need here?
I don't think they need to do anything, do they, Sheila? It was more of an information thing that I was.
Just kind of getting us in the round.
Yeah, I was going
Originally,
to.
the commissioners had went and asked, or it was just part of Chris and Jack and the committee, and went and got approval from the commissioner to go that step. So it's just
But on
an
your-
FYI to you guys to go.
Yeah, it's just a.
On your radios that you have now, you're saying $600 just to get like a software update.
Mhm.
Okay. But what kind of conditions are your radios in, guys? That's what
Mine's less than 5 years old.
Yeah, Patricksburg's are about 2 years old.
Okay,
Maybe
I don't
3
know.
years old, so that's, I mean, they're,
The thing of it is, these radios will continue to work until we kick it over to the digital P25. That programming that goes in
Which is
for the digital P25.
yeah. So like he says, the radios will continue to work, but this new program or this new radio project that we're doing is going to digital from analog, and then going to P25, which is a software. What P25 is a software that allows anybody,
Any
any manufacturer on our radio system. One of the rubs before was if we would have went with some of these other vendors, they were trying to lock us into buying their radio only. Then the radio goes from $1,200 to $2,500 because they know you can only use their radio. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, and the dangerous part about that is, and I'm just gonna use, well, I won't even use vendors. If we put in a radio system that can only use Radio X, and we have an emergency over here in Owen County, and we need to bring someone from Bloomington, and they're using Radio B, there's no way their radio can talk on our system, because the system was designed to only work with that one brand of radio. So that's what P25 does, is allows any radio, as long as they're a P25 capable radio, any brand radio can work on our system. So
whether
it's
you're
confusing, I know.
No, whether you're spending $600 on the radio to upgrade it or $1,200 to buy a new one, all of those will work on P25.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's where we need to end up, right?
Yes. Yes.
Clear as mud.
Clear as mud. Yeah, it's very confusing. It's.
I mean, I would just hate to put $600 into a radio when the radio's junk. I mean,
Yeah,
you
no,
understand what I'm saying?
yeah, I understand. And believe me, we're looking at all those as close as we can to make sure, you know, to know the age of the radio and everything. There's a bunch of radios in the county that aren't even upgradable with that software. So, I was just using like Patricksburg and Freedom's as an example, and saying basically that depending on how quick we can get this money determines on how much money I'm going to need to get. So, if that
Sounds
makes
like you're on
sense.
top of it.
Do
I
what?
said, sounds like you're on top of it. I just want to make sure when you hit your button and you key that thing up, that it actually works for you.
I'm trying.
Last on the 13th, you have to do additional appropriation process, so it'll be your May meeting that it comes back to unless they call a special meeting.
Okay.
I think they're gonna have to for a couple other reasons anyway, but
So I need to put
by
in,
May, they usually have it by the May council meeting at the latest.
do I need to fill out the additional appropriation? I mean, I can do it, but I didn't know if since they said, yeah, we'll give you guys this money, that if the council had to fill that out or what?
We need some on a piece of paper with a dollar amount.
Okay.
So I would put whatever you know the balance is due. We have the $449,000 claim, and the other two little ones we paid already. So that being said, there is absolutely no ARPA money left, no interest money, no nothing. Everything has been spent, and so we'll be doing a closeout report on that. So whatever the additional cost in your radios plus the balance due to them, that's the dollar amount for me.
Okay. All right.
Let's put it this way, at the last meeting we had with the radio company putting this all together for us, looked at the radios that Patricksburg have and the one that I have. They said those are the best radios. They would choose them even over some of the newer radios that are coming out now.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're upgradable. They'll be on the system for a very long time once they get upgraded.
Sounds good.
All right. I don't have my agenda.
There's a bid over here.
That's what I was going to say. Do we want to go on with that, or do you want
Dispatch
to?
HB did, only one came in.
This was sent out, this bid was sent out to 3 different vendors.
And only one.
One responded, I guess, is all. Sheila said they only got 1 bid in, so.
It's from SR Mechanical for $85,220 plus an additional $1,500 if you want to add blown-in insulation.
$85,000 for the HVAC?
Is that, did they bid, how many different systems did they bid?
Well, okay.
HFI's already get, have they given us a bid?
HFI did not bid.
Well, hold on.
I guess.
That is the, okay, that is the base bid for the, they call it the Liebert Precision Unit.
Okay.
They have an alternative bid, which is a dual independent variable capacity split VRF system. That one is $41,795 plus $1,500.
That's a little better.
Sorry about that. I guess I should have talked about
You
that.
scared me.
Shouldn't have. Yeah.
$85,000. I was gonna say, no.
So anyway,
So
you got 2 options from it.
So if I could elaborate on that, remember we kept running into this vendor wanted to do this vendor wanted to do that,
Yeah.
another vendor wanted to do something. So how do you compare apples to apples is why we got the gentleman involved that does this stuff. He suggested, he said, there's a company out there that builds mini splits specifically for server rooms. That brand name is Liebert. And he says, one of the things that you run into with mini splits is they're changing so much that by the time you get one put in, parts are already being obsolete for them. In other words, circuitry and stuff like that. So Liebert doesn't do that. The other mini split companies, a lot of the other mini split companies do. So he suggested we put out to see what a Liebert system would cost and then have an alternative of a mini split of their choice, but he gave specific things they needed to do. And he said if they do that stuff correctly, these other mini splits will last 10, 12 years. So.
No idea of a cost on that though, right?
That was the 40.
That's the 40?
41,000.
Yeah.
And what that is, that's 2 systems, that's 2 complete systems. So in both the Liebert and whatever the other brand name was. So each system has to be capable of keeping that room at 70 degrees.
Can we buy a fan?
You buy a fan?
Can we just buy a fan?
So you would have 2 systems.
2 fans?
You'd basically have 2 mini splits. Each system would be capable of keeping that room at 70 degrees. So if a compressor went out of one of the systems, the other one would be able to maintain the temperature until you got the other one up and running. And with having 2 systems, they wouldn't be working at maximum capacity and hopefully would last longer.
And the 41 was just those 2 systems, not the installation and everything else?
Not the installation. And that was one of the things that the advisor, he looked at the insulation, climbed up in the attic and looked, and he says, you really need to have more insulation.
Of course.
And, well, he's not making any money off the insulation, he was just advising us, you know, it's not like he was
How
making.
much did that advice cost?
Well.
There's a price tag to that advice, I'm sure, we're gonna get a bill on. Here's how much my advice was.
I'm sure there is, but that's what we were paying for, is for him to tell us what we needed. And he also suggested that we put a door at the bottom of the stairs that goes up there, because when you walk up those stairs, before you go into the server room, it's hot right there.
Yep.
And they've got hot, or seal those doors up better, he said. So, I feel like the guy really covered all bases and looked at the whole system and situation and said, here's what you can do to make this better. And
Well, if we don't maintain the temperature in there, we're shortening the lifespan of those servers and those UPSs and everything else we have up there.
exactly, and every radio that's in there.
Everything
and-
that's up there. None of that stuff likes heat.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it sounds expensive, but it can't be helped.
That would be 2 separate units. And plus, I believe in that they were to patch the ceiling where the old ones are at currently. They take those out, patch the ceiling.
These demolition disposal existing municipal.
We still got some water damage in there right now, right? Above.
I don't know.
Ain't been in there since that all come about.
Surge protector disconnects. All ambient controls for winter operation. It says here, oh, P.S., or you can buy 3 fans. For $250 a piece. Must be some really good fans. That's got, well,
Here's what I would say. If you look at the 41,000 one, how much, we've spent a ton of money in the last year and a half just keeping that.
Yeah, we spent over.
Trying to keep that system up and running, plus keeping, renting that system to keep it cool in there.
Yeah, I understand. When he come up with 86, I'm just focused on that $86,000.
Yeah, that was for the Liebherr. That was for the Cadillac that they're designed, those systems are designed specifically for those rooms.
There's the cost breakdown.
What is the lead time on, that at all?
I don't.
3 years, and when I get another big, the parts will be obsolete. Should have bought the fan. So, where does that $41,000 come from, Sheila?
Money you guys can spend tonight. I'm not sure, she has 2 funds down there, 1222 and 1235. I know they're strict on what you can spend out of them, so she would have to check with them to see, but one of the funds, she brings 24,000 a month in, the other she brings 45,000 in.
No, we know, we don't, we just spent $150,000, so we don't have.
Again, she's got good enough cash balances to support it, it's just would be an additional appropriation.
Well, that means if they do, if they run into overtime and putting it in, then it costs them more.
Don't give me the bid then.
Uh-oh, Dave's mad.
I don't understand the sales tax thing.
Yeah,
We don't do sales tax.
Well, they're saying overtime.
So he's put on here 3 standard exclusions: excludes overtime, excludes shift work, and excludes sales tax. We shouldn't have sales tax. If he gets to where he's working overtime, he needs to go home and come back the next day. And then, I don't know what he's talking about on shift work. I don't think we need him working 3 shifts to get this done.
Yeah.
So, we'd need to clarify that with him. I don't want to get a bill after a bill about overtime.
So, do we get that part clarified before we agree to the contract then? Because they don't want them working overtime, they don't want shift bids and stuff like that, which I understand because it's just more money.
Well, you're gonna control that. When they.
Chris will.
Yeah, Chris will control that.
There you go.
You just gotta say, I'm not gonna allow you to be doing this on overtime and we're not doing a bunch of shift work. You don't need an agreement for that.
Okay.
I was saying going all in one, $41,000.
Let her fly.
Do we know what? Did you tell me a fund number? It sounded like both of them were okay for this kind of amount.
I would prefer Deborah to check and see
Yes.
which one
Okay.
isn't allowable. So your motion needs to be to present
Okay.
whichever fund is feasible for the amount up to whatever dollar amount
All right.
for him to take to the council on the 13th to ask for an additional appropriation out of that fund.
Okay.
So
So-
it would be May before we could start, unless it's that.
May before she,
And if you take that with you, just give me a copy, so that way you have it in front of them when you're talking to them to ask for the changes.
And when you call them, Chris, find out what the lead time is, okay? If you don't care,
All right, so my motion is we go with SR Mechanical's alternate one bid of $41,795 to be funded out of whichever fund of 911 is appropriate to cover that cost. We do need to inform them that there'll be no excluded overtime, shift work, or sales tax included. And you can ask for your additional appropriation for that amount.
okay.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Three.
Do you need this back?
You need to
Sheila,
for anything?
does he need this back?
He can have it, he'll just get me a copy, that way he has it in front of him when he's talking with them, to get the changes.
Well, is that it, Chris?
Just was wanting to say that given the opportunity, I'd like to go on vacation next week.
Okay, so you're not given the opportunity, you got any other questions?
That's it, that's all I need, I'll be here.
No,
I have one thing for 911. Sheila, I sent you that, I don't know what you'd call it, where we can declare those batteries surplus and get rid of them. Can we go ahead and deal with that and get it done so we can get rid of them things and be done with it? I'll need it in front of me though, because I sent it to you and I didn't bring myself a copy. So I did some digging after Sam was talking about worthless equipment. And there is a code to cover that, Indiana code to cover it. So I would like to declare the bad batteries from the 911 UPS project to be considered junk, have them recycled. I quote from the Commissioner's Handbook under Section R, disposition of surplus personal property, subsection 3, item D. If a property is worthless, it may be demolished or junked. Property is considered worthless or of no market value, or if the value of the property is less than the estimated cost of the sale or transportation of the property. And that code is Indiana Code 5-22-22-8. So my motion is to declare those batteries as having no market value and declare them as junk so we can get rid of them.
can I add about 30 things to that list?
Well, you can hang on to this because that's the code for it. But anyway.
Hang on to that. yeah.
Okay, I'll hang on to it.
All in favor?
Aye.
3-0.
All right, I'll get with our boy.
Okay, landfill, item landfill report.
Copies, I just required to provide them to you in the meeting, so.
There's nothing to do with that, we just got copies, okay. Department heads, elected officials. Public, Roger, you been here all night long, you hungry?
I'm getting that.
Yeah, I'm still-
You didn't bring any cinnamon.
Got some little candy bars up here.
We got some candy bars up there if you want.
You want a candy bar, Roger? I'll let you, well, you can't.
Oh, I better skip it, thank you anyway.
Okay, do you have anything, Roger, you want to talk about?
I'm just interested, trying to follow what's going on.
No, I appreciate you coming, and,
So are we.
Chad, you got anything else? I hope you guys don't have to go out. Hope you get 3 days off, get some rest, be with your family. If you need a tree removed, call me. I'll get it removed. So,
Not with that back here, not.
well, I'm gonna have you do it, so. Mr. Walker Senior, you got anything? Mr. Wright, we got you took care of?
I've only got one comment I'd like to make.
I hope.
I've had a lot of people call me and ask me, who do I tell that the county highway is doing a great job?
You tell?
Because with the number of people they've got working,
and all the situations of the different weather that we've had, how do they get it done? I said, well, call your commissioners, call your county council, and I said, call the county garage and tell them.
Yeah, appreciation goes a long way, and my wife tells me that's probably not one of my strong suits. Or it is, but I just do it in a different form, you know. So I'll publicly say for Chad and your team, and Benita, I'm gonna include you because you brought 3 musketeers tonight. You know, we get frustrated too. Board of Commissioners, we get a lot of phone calls and the taxpayers get frustrated. Chad, I visibly upset tonight, and I understand he takes a lot of burden on. It's not fair. I'll do a better part of my end, Chad, to help in any way I can. Try to take some heat off of you. To be honest with you, I've talked to a lot of people in the last, been commissioner a year and whatever, and you know, you get complaints about potholes and stuff like that. I mean, that's normal, but as far as really bad complaints, other than when you gonna come out and fix my pothole, I said, I don't know, I'll call Chad and ask you. I mean, chain of command, you know what I'm saying? Overall, it's very minimal to the point of really bad stuff. We all know the roads need fixed. We all know we don't have the money, or not much. We got some. It's a tough situation, but the public needs, and I think the public, 90% of the public, I believe, understand. 5% don't. Then there's maybe another 5% that wouldn't be happy no matter what you did. And that's kind of in the situation that you're in. But I think most of the public understands that this is not something that just transpired in a year. And this has been an ongoing problem in this county for a multitude of years. And catch up is tough. It's almost impossible. Keeping up is almost impossible. So when you can't catch up and you can't keep up, the only other option that you have is you fall behind. I don't know how else to say it. But for the public, Chad and them will do the very best they can with the manpower they got, and hopefully when we get back with some of these quotes on some of this culverts and ditching stuff, hopefully there's money there for that, Chad, and you can go another direction. And I really hope that this is what comes out of this. If it doesn't, if there's no money available, it's not your fault. It's not the Board of Commissioners' fault. And I'm not saying it's the council's fault. You've seen what the state done to us. And so we're kind of at the mercy, but take a deep breath, regroup, tell your men, women, woman, we're praying for you. We think a lot of you, we do. It's a tough job to be in. It's a thankless job. It's thankless.
I do get some of those phone calls that thank us.
Yeah, we do too. Yeah.
Hey, the folks out there where you remove the gravel, they're ready to put up a statue of you out there.
Statue?
Out on, Bandy Road, right? Oh, yeah.
That'd be nice.
They were gonna put
Right
a
down Bandy Road, see a
breast
statue of
of
Chad.
Chad out there. I talked them out of it, because
Budgets are tight, that we got a cardboard.
be my luck, they'd put it in the edge of the road, somebody would hit it and.
We'll take a picture immediately once it goes out there, so. Sir, you've been here all night long.
Chris for a second after.
Wow.
I learned a lot too.
Well, could you explain it to me, what you learned? Sheila? You have anything?
I do actually, sorry.
No, your time is over. Well, your time's over, we already asked you, you bypassed. No. No, go ahead.
So a while back I sent over a general request, but I don't have anything officially written, for some sort of ordinance on the code enforcement side, for my job, that would allow us to tie some of those fines and fees into property taxes or something of the sort, to have some teeth behind those. But I've not really gotten a response yet, and I get a lot of calls about it, asking about updates for it. So since I am able to be here, I work several jobs, but since I am able to be here, it would be a good time, I guess, to bring that up and ask for it.
I'd have to go back and look and see what we're already currently going through. If there's something that addresses that, maybe we can push that to the front of the line, kind of like we did this piece here, and get that dealt with. So you do a little digging, and I'll do a little digging, and we'll see if we can find what help is there, because the Indiana code's pretty good too, but we would rather have a local one, so we can, if you want to do that, and then I'll just collaborate with you on it.
I wasn't ignoring you, Heather. Yeah, I guess it was, a little bit.
That's okay.
Did you get your answer?
Yeah, me and Norm will work on it.
Okay, good. I do have two things. I got 4 minutes. Boy, I don't know if I can speak.
You skipped me again. Yeah.
I asked you if you needed anything.
Then she got.
She interrupted you?
Yeah,
So you had your, I'll give you your update loud report. The only thing I need is, there's 3 weeks between your meetings, from your next meeting until your first meeting in May.
Thank God.
We need permission to pay any claims that will accumulate late fees or cause major issues with contracts and agreements. And then they'll still come to you for approval. We just need to be able to process them.
We don't need a motion, just do it. I don't think it needs to be a motion, that's,
Yeah, because we're paying them out.
Yeah,
gotta have
you
motion.
need a motion.
Everything has to have motion, though.
Yes, that does.
I'm gonna make a motion that we amend all motions, and we approve all motions that we amended. They think like that?
Not even close.
I make a motion that Sheila pays between the last meeting in April and the meeting in May. We've got 3 weeks. So any claims that need to be paid within that 3-week period, whatever the claim may be, Sheila understands all the claim processes. I make a motion that Sheila pays the claims.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
3-0. Okay?
Okay, I got one thing too. So,
You already agreed to stay.
the county got a letter from Old National Bank about a letter of credit, or a line of credit, that was supposed to secure, that is securing some development for workforce housing. And say, the Old National Bank was telling the county that is going to expire on June 21st of 2026. There were some communications back and forth. That line of credit can be extended. We can require it be extended. I would suggest we have it extended so that you're covered until the construction is complete.
What's the line of credit for what workforce development?
There is, it's Workforce Housing LLC.
That's close.
Well, there is a, go ahead.
When this first started, it was county. The county turned it over to the town. So
They annexed it.
They annexed it.
Okay, so,
It should be the town.
okay, so it is no longer the county's obligation? Because that wasn't clear to me in what was sent to me.
Again,
Well,
The town annexed the Cook property off of,
yes.
So it is no longer a county obligation in any way, or county, we've washed our hands of it?
we don't
Okay,
have, we
all right.
don't even have a dog in the fight on that.
Then never mind, then it's not our problem anymore. Okay.
Okay. So, I think last year, or this year, we talked about having, a community picnic. Remember how we used to have those back in the day? We had them for a few years, and things was great, we all had a good time, we ate watermelon, spit seeds, and had a lot of fun. Then they got sidetracked, and I don't know what all happened, but last year, we talked about it, we had the dome thing finished up this year. Sheila, you, or Beth, or somebody's memory is better than mine. I believe that we talked about having the community picnic on May 16th. I believe that's my recollection. And we talked about the commissioners and, phoning up out of our own pockets. Get that clear. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
The commissioners will buy the meat, hamburgers, hot dogs, brats, between the three commissioners. I think this is an event that we need to do things like this. It helps bring the community together. It's a way to show appreciation for our community and the county. I want to do this again, but is May 16th? I mean, here we are. Is that a doable date? You guys think? Do we need to move it back? When is the chucking of the chickens? Anybody know when they're chucking chickens off the courthouse roof again?
I thought that was in June, but I'm not positive.
I think you're right.
June.
Isn't the judge gonna help with coordinating this too?
Yeah, but we have to set a date because the
That was
judge.
the date you'd set, and you also set an alternate date the following week.
Okay, so
16th and 23rd.
you guys pick. I want to get this back on track. The judge, who's the prosecutor at the time when we did it before, we had a great time. He burned his eyebrows off on the grill, but he's not here to laugh about that, so I'll laugh for him. We have the Indiana Dream Team. It's a recovery house for men. They'd like to come down to help cook and facilitate and be a part of it, and I'm all about that. But can we get this put together for May 16th? I mean, I think I'd like to see Chris Lunsford involved. I like to see all appointed, sorry, Chris. I like to see all appointed people. I like all elected officials. And any employees that would like to get involved, let's get a list going, let's have a cookout, and, let's bring the community together. And it's free food for everybody. It's just time to just tell everybody we say thank you for.
What time are we gonna do that?
From 11 to 2.
11 to 2.
And the alternate day would be May 23rd if we have a rain out.
Yeah, if we have rain out. Is that, and I know we had a list somewhere one time of what people brought. I'd like to get this advertised on however we do the advertisements.
What day is May 23rd on?
Saturday. Well, what you got going on?
What?
What you got going on?
18th through the 24th is EMS week, and this is our 50th anniversary of the EMS.
Okay.
Existence, so we're planning on something that week, some of the planning stages. I just wondered if it's gonna fall on a Thursday, that's our banquet tonight.
No,
Sorry.
ours will be on a Saturday. Is that
Benita's got some.
feasible?
Well, I was just gonna say, last year it was in September, we changed the chicken chuck. I think they used it, so.
I think it's in June.
They moved it up, changed it.
Yeah, so if we can do the May 16th, advertise this, spread the word, Chris. We'll put out some sort of email to all the appointed and all the elected, just all the employees, anybody that wants to contribute, the commissioners. You guys okay with funding the meat out of our own expenses?
Personal
accounts. Yeah, so May 16th, we'll have the community picnic. We'll get the word out to everybody. We'll have food and whatever, and just have a good time and just relax. Please tell people to bring chairs and lawn chairs and sit around We'll have a good time. Rain date will be May 23rd. Last thing I have is, we've talked about windows in the courthouse now for 13 years. I do have some quotes. I got 3 different ones. We know that we did have a window fall out not too long ago.
Right there by yours.
Yeah, you
Everybody
should hear
know.
the wind whipping through it right
So
now.
anyway, I was told that we couldn't do the windows, and we had to go through DNR, yada, yada, do all this, get permits, get all this, and blessings of the Pope. And, well, I called DNR, spoke to 2 people, very, very fine people, and they said, no, as long as we're not using federal money or grant money, that the commissioners can put in new windows in the courthouse. These windows was put in back in early 80s. And here's what we got. We're losing upwards to 40% of our heating and cooling through the windows. 13 years ago, it would have cost us $374,000 to replace all the windows in the courthouse. Well, it'll cost you more than $374,000 now. So here's the quotes. Coons Roofing placed a bid. This is for windows and installation, clean up, take away all the old windows and stuff like that. It's $570,495. Vincent Builders, same deal, windows, installation, clean up, hauling the windows off, $553,995. J.L. Benton, same deal, windows, installation, clean up, is $540,295. Now, that's a lot of money. But, and I know we've got a variety of things to pay for and look at, but, you know, one, it's a liability issue for us with the windows that we kind of have. We've got some issues. It's a good thing nobody was sitting there when that window fell out, or somebody could have been hurt. They should have been replaced a long time ago, but they're not. So we went to the council 2 months ago, Sheila, or something, whenever it was, and brought this up. I believe Anton may have mentioned this, don't quote me on it. Possibly we could do some one-time money on this. And for me personally, this is our courthouse. This is the hub of the county. The aesthetics of the courthouse need to be maintained. You know, we're doing the Duke Doughboy project. We're partway done with that. That'll be finished up here this year and it'll look nice. My personal preference is just me, guys. It's not about me, but I say we need to get the windows put in the courthouse, at least go to the council to see what they can do to help fund this project. You have to put the windows with it. There's the you have to add the windows.
This is just the labor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, add the windows to the.
All right.
To the,
I
like,
knew I
sorry.
was missing something.
Yeah, I was
Sorry,
looking.
you know, cart before the horse again.
So what was the low bid?
J.L. Benton, construction, $540,295. That's just my thought. That's just something that,
I think we take it to them like they ask us to and see what they say.
all right, make a motion.
I make a motion that we take the low bid of J.L. Benton to the council for one-time money, as they requested us to do.
I'll second.
Motion on the floor, second by Dave, all in favor?
Aye.
3-0. I think I'm done. Attorney, you have anything?
No, not now.
Not now?
Nope, hold on.
You's good?
Yep.
Auditor, any more?
I make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
All third.
It's only 10 after 9. Meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody, for coming.